Okay, I should be live. Oh, what just happened here? TV's messing up. Okay. All right. Is there anybody on the stream? And if you are there, can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Welcome to the stream, Joseph Strickland. Are you a first-time viewer? I don't remember seeing your name in the chat room before. Okay. I've been watching you a lot. Okay, long-term fan. Hi, how you doing? Welcome aboard. Hopefully you guys are ready for tonight's stream because I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff. Not just Clash of Champions and not just Saturday night's main event. I'm actually going to be going over a lot of stuff here tonight. Wrestling related, I'm going to do top 10 matches for April 2018 minus WrestleMania weekend because I already did a top 10 for WrestleMania weekend. And I thought, okay, we'll just remove those 10 matches and then we will... for the rest of the month, I'll do the top 10 matches, again, outside of the ones that happened WrestleMania weekend. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm also going to be doing a preview for Backlash 2018, which is happening tomorrow night, which is going to be fascinating because I do not know what the card is off the top of my head. I know a few matches. I know Carmella versus Charlotte is happening. I know Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns is happening. I know AJ versus Nakamura is happening. But other than that, I'm pretty, loose on what the full card is. So I'll preview for the whole thing. I know Daniel Bryan is facing Big Cass, for example, but it'll be interesting to go over that and see what my thoughts are. And then I'm going to watch Clash of Champions Saturday night's main event. I'm going to watch Clash of Champions first because I think that's going to be the better show, and I think it's going to be more interesting for you guys. And since I'm most likely going to be going long here, I want you to see my reactions to Clash of Champions first because I think that's going to be the better show, especially with that main event. Ric Flair versus Terry Funk. Hello, Pelter. Welcome to the stream. But before I get into anything wrestling related, it was requested of me in a previous video to do a movie review for Avengers Infinity War, which I feel like I'm late to the party here because everybody's reviewed Infinity War at this point. I feel like everybody's seen it. But, here we are over a week removed from its big, massive, record-breaking debut. And I just want to give my quick thoughts and opinions on Infinity War. I also want to review A Quiet Place, which was a horror movie I saw last weekend. I saw it the day before I saw Avengers, and that's been out for a few weeks now, but I do want to talk about that movie because I am a big horror fan and I really wanted to see that movie and I got a chance to see it, so might as well talk about it. I also saw Rampage, but instead of reviewing that, I'm going to save that for my kaiju movie reviews later in the year, so you'll get my thoughts on Rampage later on when I ultimately do that review. So I got another movie added to the review set. That one's going to be an interesting one to talk about because I've got a few odd opinions on that one, but starting with Avengers, which is the big one, the big blockbuster of the year. I guess I'll start off by saying, stating my overall impressions of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what my overall feelings are. I maintain to this day that Marvel Studios has yet to make a truly terrible movie. They've had some mediocre ones. They've had some lower tier ones. I would say the two worst that they've done are Doctor Strange, which got a shockingly high score on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know, I thought it was mediocre as hell. I was like, I mean, it's okay. I don't know, what the big deal is, why it would get that high of a review. I don't watch movies, but you can spoil me here. I'm going to try and stay as spoiler-free as possible. So don't expect any huge spoilers because I feel like it's going to be hard to talk about Infinity War without giving away spoilers. But again, going back to my point, I didn't like Doctor Strange that much. I thought Thor the Dark World felt like something that they just farted out to get into theaters. It was just kind of a nothing movie. And they've had a couple of other lower tier ones like Iron Man 2. And I wasn't the biggest fan of Guardians 2. I thought it was fine. To me, it was kind of the Ghostbusters 2 of the Marvel movies. It's I still like the cast. I still like the characters. Movie overall, though, it's fine. Nothing that great. But when Marvel's really good, they shell out some really, really good movies. I loved Winter Soldier. I really enjoyed Civil War. Team Zemo. I was totally Team Zemo in that movie. The fact that that airport fight scene even happened is proof that Zemo was right, but that's just my take. I really liked, where were some, Thor Ragnarok was 80s as fuck, and okay, anybody who makes movies, any major studio out there, if you're going for 80s nostalgia or anything that has like an 80s vibe to it, chances are I'm going to love it. So if you're going to try and win me over and win my favor, going 80s, really the way to go. And Thor Ragnarok did that to a T, and I loved it. It's like, God, it's like Masters of the Universe, Flash Gordon, and Buck Rogers like had like an orgy, and out came this awesome, awesome baby. Thor Ragnarok. The first Iron Man is obviously very good. Probably the best origin story ever done for a superhero movie. And so Marvel's made some excellent movies. The first Avengers was amazing at the time, just for how incredible it was that they were able to pull it off. But, you know, so you get like a wide range there with the Marvel movies, and sometimes it can feel, I know one of the criticisms of them is that it feels factory assembled, like they are designed to be audience pleasers. They're designed to be quippy as hell. They're designed to appeal to as many people as possible. And to a degree, that's true. You know, I think of movies like Ant-Man, and I think of movies like even Spider-Man Homecoming, which I enjoyed. I thought it was a very funny, very enjoyable film, but it was just entertaining. There wasn't a whole lot, not much substance to it beyond being fun and entertaining. It didn't quite have the heart of the first two Raimi Spider-Man films, and it wasn't up to the tier of like some of the higher end Marvel films or like some of my other favorite superhero movies like Logan or The Dark Knight. It was just a good, fun time at the movies, and that's really all Spider-Man Homecoming was. So when people criticize Marvel movies for being factory assembled, I kind of understand where they're coming from. But Infinity War, I'm currently drinking vanilla Coca-Cola. By the way, it's great. Yeah, vanilla Coca-Cola, it's a shame. Since I started dieting, I kind of cut sodas out of my diet, and I miss certain ones, and vanilla Coca-Cola is one of them. It's really good. But anyway, Infinity Wars was almost, it couldn't be factory assembled. It was so big, and it's like a celebration of 10 years of Marvel Studios films. This had to be like a huge event film, especially since they've been really building it up since the first Avengers movie, ever since we got that first teaser with Thanos. They've been setting up this movie and building up to this point, and the end result was a very, very good film, I thought. Very entertaining, very ambitious. I mean, combining all the Avengers with the Guardians of the Galaxy and a bunch of other things with all these huge action set pieces and so many characters. This is a movie that could have easily fallen apart at the seams with too much shit going on. And I think it worked very well. And I think one of the reasons it worked very well is that they spent so much time setting up these characters through earlier films that you don't have to waste a whole lot of time on exposition, because you know who Iron Man is, you know who the Guardians are, you know who Spider-Man is, you know who all these people are, why they do what they do, where they're coming from. So things like, if this is the first Marvel movie you've ever seen, you're going to be lost as shit, because they don't explain anything. It's like, wait, why is Captain America, why does he have a beard now? Like, what is, why are Star-Lord and Gamora in love in this film or whatever? I didn't see the previous Guardians films. This feels super, super rushed. But again, if you watch the previous films, all of that makes sense. And so this movie really did feel like a reward for all the people who've been watching the Marvel Studios films for 10 years. And it was just one huge action set piece after another, all of it very entertaining. The character interactions, for the most part, were very, very good. And it was really great to see like Iron Man interacting with Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man and Iron Man. I think this version of Spider-Man has a really good chemistry with Tony, and I think I really like watching them together. You get to see the Guardians interact with the Avengers for the first time, and all of that is great. Star-Lord has great bits with Thor and Iron Man, and a lot of humor in this movie, which again is kind of a criticism of the Marvel movies sometimes, where they're too quippy, and sometimes that's true, and in some cases it was a little true in this film, where there were scenes that needed to be played more seriously, and they would just throw in a joke in there because it's Marvel and they have to throw jokes in there. And it's like, guys, you could let the scene stand. You don't need to throw jokes in every single scene. But stuff like Iron Man and Spider-Man on the ship together, I mean, that stuff was all golden. I didn't mind that. But ending the Gamora Star-Lord scene right before they go off to face Thanos with this comedy bit from Drax. And it was funny, and Batista's funny. The problem is I felt like that needed to be more of an emotional scene. You didn't need to end it on a joke. But so that's a fair criticism of Marvel sometimes. But overall, I thought for the most part the film worked very, very well, and I was highly entertained by it. And I think the reason it worked for me and the reason it held together as well as it did is that really the film treats Thanos like he's the main character, and he's kind of the focal point of the whole film. And Thanos is terrific. I thought he was executed very, very well. I thought Brolin's performance was great. They definitely took some huge steps to making Thanos more of a three-dimensional character, and in particular with his relationship with Gamora, which I thought personally, you know, you've got all these heroes doing all these really super cool things and interacting with each other and doing all these huge action set pieces. And really, I think my favorite thing in the whole movie were the scenes between Thanos and Gamora, because I thought that was kind of the heart of the film as far as from a emotional standpoint, and the relationship was the one I felt the most for, or at least I could feel the emotion behind it based on the performances. And ultimately, again, I don't want to give it away, but there's a scene around the middle of the film between Thanos and Gamora that I think is the best scene in the movie, and one of the best scenes that has been done in any of the Marvel movies. I thought it was very, very good. And the other subplot I liked, because again, this is kind of like, you know, a lot going on here. They divided this cast up into like 3 or 4 different plots, and somehow it held all together. I think the one I enjoyed the most out of all the heroes were like the Thor, Rocket, and Groot off to go get Thor a weapon to help him kill Thanos. And I really enjoyed all their interactions and all the stuff they were doing together. It had a huge payoff at the end. Again, don't want to give it away, but all of that worked very well for me, and all of that was very entertaining. So a lot of good stuff here, a lot of great stuff going on. I think my only major knock on the film, and I'm trying to steer clear of spoilers here, my only major knock is with the ending. Not so much with the ending itself, because I think that the last scene is actually amazingly well done. My problem is I know they're going to cheat it. And okay, I'm kind of getting into spoilers here, but I have a huge problem with cheating death in storytelling. To me, death should represent finality, and death should lead to like a sense of both conclusion for a character story arc, but also be a source of motivation for stories moving forward. It's like, okay, this horrible thing happened. Now how do we react to this? And what Marvel did here at the end is essentially their version of the Red Wedding. And I don't think that should be undone, but I know they're going to undo it. And I think that's unfortunate because it was so well done. I rather, you know, I've had people tell me, it's like, no, they need to bring them back so they can do all this cool stuff in the next movie. And I'm like, I prefer emotional gut punches over, you know, because to me, like those sad, like heartbreaking moments really give films their resonance, I think. There's a reason why I still talk about Transformers the movie over 30 years after that movie was released, and, you know, close to 30 years since the first time I saw it. That scene where Optimus Prime dies, I mean, man, that kills me. And they eventually brought Prime back, but they didn't want to. They weren't planning to. And it was very heartbreaking, but because of that, I remember it. Bambi's mother, I remember that. It was very heartbreaking for a lot of children to see that. And I really feel like that ending that they went for with Infinity War, I feel like it should stick. And I feel like they should stick to their guns and have the characters that are left kind of, okay, this horrible thing happened. Now what do we do? Okay, this horrible thing happened. What's going to become of our world now? And just move the story along forward that way. But instead, like, the next movie is going to be a giant cheat, and I'm not going to like it, and I'm going to be upset about it. And the entire time in the theater, I'm like, that whole scene is great. I know they're going to cheat it. I've already got ideas in my head of how they're going to cheat it. And, I mean, if I watch the next movie and they keep everybody, you know, the way they were at the end of Infinity War Part 1, I'm like, okay, I'm cool. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to do a massive, massive cheat. And, you know, I think of the Star Trek movies. Wrath of Khan is not only my favorite Star Trek movie, it is one of my favorite movies ever made. I friggin' love Wrath of Khan. I think it's a masterpiece. One of my least favorite Star Trek movies is Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, the very next film. Because that whole movie is basically a giant cheat that undoes the great work done by the second film. Jake Owens, welcome to the stream. Am I wrong to think that Marvel got the idea for cheating death from Vince McMahon? No, I think it came from Superman. I think every time I see a death cheated and I see, because this is a weird thing in nerd culture. Like, they're always like, they want death to get cheated because they don't want their favorite characters to die. But I'm like, dude, then don't kill them in the first place. That's like, if you're going to cheat it, I'd rather they just not die. Good evening. You know what? I feel bad. I never learned how to pronounce her name. What is it? Strayha Ninja Gov? Yeah, I never learned how to pronounce her name. I feel bad about that. But good evening. We're talking about Marvel Infinity Wars right now. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, cheating death. I really don't like it. And unfortunately, it's become like a standard thing to where I almost don't take death seriously in storytelling. It's one of the reasons I got out of reading comics when I was younger, because nobody stayed dead. Again, thanks a lot, Superman. It's one of the reasons I never took DBZ seriously. Strayhina. Okay, cool. Strayhina? Is that okay? Strayhina Gov. Okay, cool. Welcome to the stream. Good evening to you as well. But DBZ, I never took that show seriously because nobody stayed dead on that show. Like, whenever they tried to play a death up as like a serious thing, I'm like, okay. I mean, I did enjoy DBZ as like a purely like entertaining, stupid thing, but I never took it seriously. Like, whenever anybody died, I'm like, right. Yep, they're totally going to stick to this. Not. So yeah, I'm just disappointed that it's like they did this really awesome thing to end the movie on, and it's a huge, like, huge thing to end on, and I know that they're not going to stick to it. And I think that's disappointing. But I almost feel like they're lying to us, and they're, I'm being cheated. But them's the breaks. But again, aside from that, overall, I thought Avenger Infinity War was very, very good. So good, in fact, that I almost don't want to watch part 2 because I almost want that to be the end. Like, just let that be the end, and let that ending stay pure. And that's the other part of it, because I got into an argument with my sister about it, and she was like, "Oh, you're just being a contrarian. Oh, you're just being an asshole." And I'm like, "No, it's like, Kathy, you're not understanding me. That movie was very, very good. I want that movie to be kept pure. I want the good things that they did to stick, so that way it has a long-lasting impression and long-lasting consequences." Yeah, no, I agree. The whole final scene was great. I just know they're going to cheat it. And that's my biggest problem with it. So I'm playing WWE 2K18, and I have a rivalry between Finn Balor and Jinder Mahal for my new belt called the WWE Global Championship. And they won over Sanity, and then Jinder got the pin. Okay, interesting. I always find it interesting when people decide to push Jinder Mahal of all people, but I'm sorry, I just don't see it in him. I never have, and I don't understand how he got the belt in the first place. But hey, that's just me. So yeah, those are basically my feelings on Infinity Wars. If you're a Marvel Studios fan, the movie is absolutely must see, and really my recommendation is pointless because if you are a Marvel fan, there's a real good chance you've already seen it. So my recommendation doesn't mean a damn thing. Do you think the characters not involved in the ending will stay dead? I don't know. I guess that's one of those things we'll have to wait for in part 2. But anyway, yeah, so those are my thoughts on Avengers Infinity War. But I did see another movie. We got another one. What is that? Zero Cool 666. Welcome to the stream. I think they by cheating death this time, that in the next Avengers movie that we will be hit with deaths that are even bigger and more devastating and will stick. Honestly, I feel like if they cheat death this time, it just makes me think that they might kill characters in the next one. I'm like, okay, how are they gonna cheat this one? It makes, because if you lie to me once, it just makes me think that you're lying to me again. So they could kill characters in the next one. I'm still gonna think they're just gonna cheat it. Because again, it's like comic books; they always find a way to bring somebody back. But again, that's just me. Yeah, I would prefer it if they just stuck to the ending and then killed more characters in the next one and make it even darker. It's like, and it's even worse when I feel like I know the cheat is coming. Like, I can see it coming like a million miles away. But anyway, another movie I wanted to talk about before we get into the wrestling stuff, A Quiet Place. Now, I am a huge horror movie fan. I love horror movies. And for a long time, cinematic horror was dreadful, like really, really bad. For a long time, it was found footage movies like Paranormal Activity knockoffs that seemed to be getting worse and worse and worse with each release. Even the Paranormal Activity movies seem to be getting worse and worse and worse. And or it was either that or shitty remakes of classics. I'm like, well, why the fuck wouldn't I just watch the classics? Fortunately, in the last few years, you know, I look at movies like The Babadook and Oculus, and even the It remake I thought was pretty good. Movies like Get Out, which came out last year, was very good. Lights Out, which I thought kind of flew under the radar, I thought was very good. I thought it was a very creative concept. Don't Breathe was very good. The Conjuring movies, which don't add anything new per se. They're not exactly the most inventive horror movies ever made, but as far as doing the stuff you've seen before, I thought they did it very, very well. Both Conjuring movies did. So I like those movies as well. So I feel like we're getting to a point where good horror is becoming more the norm than the exception, which is great. And I'm like, okay, thank God, like cinematic horror is actually getting to be good again. Now, Truth or Dare looked absolutely laughable, but it might be funny bad. I might check out Truth or Dare just because it looked really, really silly and funny bad. But A Quiet Place, I thought, had a very creative concept just looking at the trailer. And most trailers, like, I have a friend who I saw this trailer with him at the movies when we went to go see Pacific Rim, a movie that we totally shat on. And he's a bit sarcastic. It's one of the reasons I love him, because he's hysterical. And each trailer, he was either rolling his eyes or making some snarky comment or something. But then Quiet Place's trailer came up, and he was like, that looks surprisingly well thought out. And this whole idea of this family being terrorized by these monsters that are highly sensitive to sound, and that's how they track and hunt. So they have to stay super, super quiet. They have to stay super, super quiet to avoid being heard. And any little noise can attract these monsters. I'm like, okay, that could be really interesting and really tense if you do it right. And having seen the movie, I thought they hit it out of the park. I thought it was a nearly perfect experience. I loved it. And it was one of those things where they did pay close attention to details. And there were a lot of little things that they did that added a lot. And establishing those rules of how much sound they can make and where, and what they would do, like there was this wooden bridge that they would have to cross, and a small detail that they threw in there was like they would have like a pathway of sand spread across the bridge to cover up their footsteps, so their footsteps over the wooden bridge wouldn't be heard. I'm like, that is like really smart attention to detail right there, and very, very well done. That movie was great, and then came the goddamn turkey baster. Oh, that scene was horrifying. For those of you who don't know, he's talking about Don't Breathe. That scene, like, scared the shit out of me. I'm like, that is some creepy-ass shit right there. That is, I can understand how some people would think that that's too far, and that's like, oh my God, that's too horrifying even for me. But I was like, dude, this is some fucked up shit right here. I really liked it. I'm not going to explain it beyond turkey baster. Just trust my word. It's super, super fucked up. But anyway, yeah, I thought A Quiet Place was really good. I thought the actors having to act mute the entire time, I thought they did very well at conveying their personalities and their emotions and how they felt about the situation. I like their interaction together. And again, it's all most of the communication is done through sign language. And I thought it was handled very, very well. And then when you get to those moments, because with horror, there's always that element of tragedy where if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And it's like this inevitability that something bad is going to happen. And it creates these very suspenseful, tense moments where the monster is just right around the corner and they have to stay absolutely quiet. Again, I don't want to give away any spoilers because there's a lot of terrific scenes in there. Again, it's just establishing the rules and then playing with those rules to create as much drama as possible. And it's not all about like cheap jump scares. It's not always about being as grotesque as possible. Sometimes it's just about what Alfred Hitchcock would talk about, just setting up something and then just dangling the audience by a thread and just like letting us hang there in suspense the entire time. And I thought this movie did it exceptionally well, and very enjoyable experience watching that film, and a great, great horror movie. My only criticism, and it's a very, very minor one, there's an original film score and there's a lot of background music throughout the film. And I think especially in that opening scene and like the earlier moments in the film before shit goes bad, I think it would have been more effective if there was no music. And maybe if they did a Jaws thing where there was only music when the monsters were around. And I think that would have been very interesting, and it would have been more effective if they did that. That sounds similar to a game I played called Until Dawn. You had to be perfectly still so the monster couldn't see you. You literally had to keep the controller perfectly still. Shit, that's tense as fuck. That would drive me crazy, but that sounds really good, actually. But anyway, yeah, I feel like those opening scenes especially would have played much better without music and just let like the ambience of like the sounds you do hear have more impact. And I think that would have meant more. Make it really just make it as quiet as possible in those opening scenes. And like really the only loud sounds you hear would be the monsters. And then as the movie progresses, as you learn more about the world and how the rules work, yeah, you can introduce a little bit more here and there. But yeah, I thought A Quiet Place was very effective. I guess I should also talk about the monsters too. Their design was good. They aren't the most inventive designs overall, but they kind of look like the Demogorgons from Stranger Things if they were like taken over and infected by John Carpenter's version of The Thing. They kind of look like that. They look like kind of like they were turned inside out almost. And they have this armored skin and they kind of walk like the Demogorgons. So it's like, all right, I kind of see there's some good stuff here. What I really liked about the design is that they have these armored faces that open up and the inside of their head looks like a giant ear canal. And it's like, oh, so they got very super sensitive hearing. And I was like, okay, that makes sense that a creature that is blind would be and does all its hunting through hearing. It makes sense that its head would basically be a giant ear. So I really like that as well. So yeah, A Quiet Place I thought was a very good movie. I really enjoyed it. You know, it feels good to actually have good horror in the cinema again. I'm really happy about that. And this movie was well received and did very well. So I'm very happy about that. So let's keep the gravy train going. Let's get more and more good horror movies out there because I think we're seeing now. Again, with movies like Get Out, movies like Don't Breathe and Lights Out and The Conjuring and even the It remake, which was a remake, I think you're seeing that there's plenty of room for high quality horror and great suspense and great horrifying scenes to give you nightmares and give you the willies. So I'm down for more. Absolutely. Well, the WWE Global Championship is my mid-card belt for Raw, and when I did my draft, I moved Jinder to Raw, and so that happened. I moved Randy Orton to Raw in my draft. You know, it's funny. I haven't played a WWE game since like the Day of Reckoning games on GameCube, so I have no idea how those games function now. I'm sure it's a lot more intuitive and a lot more detail put into like the career modes and stuff like that than it was when I was younger. So that'll conclude my movie reviews for now. So have you watched Wrestling Dontaku? I haven't watched it yet. No, I'm going to try and knock those out tomorrow. I definitely wanted to see Okada Tanahashi and, Cody versus Ibushi again. I definitely want to see those matches. So a lot to look forward to in that regard. Okay, so getting into the wrestling side of things, we're going to do top 10 matches for April 2018 minus WrestleMania weekend because for those of you who saw my WrestleMania stream the night after WrestleMania 34, I already did a top 10 match list for WrestleMania weekend. So I decided since I already covered those matches, we'll exclude WrestleMania weekend and the shows I watched that weekend from the list. And we'll just go ahead and do top 10 matches for April 2018, again, minus WrestleMania weekend. So getting into it. Number 10, Eddie Edwards, Moose, and Tommy Dreamer versus Sami Callihan and OVE in a House of Horrors match from Impact Wrestling's Redemption. Solid hardcore match. I don't know what a House of Hardcore match is or what separates it from any other hardcore match that TNA does. But it was fun stuff. A lot of sick stunts from Moose. And it ended with a very strong post-match angle. It's like, okay, so that was well done. Very good. I enjoyed that. Number 9, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE title from WWE Greatest Royal Rumble. Good match, I would argue, probably better than their Mania match. And the double countout finish pretty much set the stage for future rematches anyway. Just a good, solid match, and it was nice to see a little bit more fire to this match than there was at the Mania match. So hopefully at Backlash tomorrow, they have something even better, bigger and better than that. Number 8, the 50-man Royal Rumble match. Again, even though there was nothing on the line and not really that big a match in the grand scheme of things, there was a lot of fun stuff in there, namely Daniel Bryan's performance, longest person to ever be in a Royal Rumble, going from one all the way to the very end. I think he was the second to last person eliminated. and Braun Strowman winning, which I enjoyed that. And, of course, the Titus O'Neil botch, which was friggin' hilarious and worth the price of admission alone. So, yeah, a very enjoyable match and a great star attraction for that event. Number 7, also from Greatest Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe versus The Miz versus Finn Balor in an IC title ladder match. Good stuff. Good multi-man ladder match. Good action. Love that the Spider-Man jump spot onto the ladder was the finish. I thought that was cool. I thought it was the match of the night from Greatest Royal Rumble. Good fun match. On an undercard that was very light and had a lot of dead weight on it, I thought that was kind of the highlight of the full undercard. So good stuff there. Really enjoyed it. And number 6, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles from SmackDown Live on April 10th. This happened right after WrestleMania and was Daniel Bryan's first major TV match back since being medically cleared, and they put him right up there against AJ Styles. A match that was good, ended when Shinsuke Nakamura broke up the match and caused a no contest, but I think it served as a nice preview to something bigger and better down the road. I would love to see AJ versus Bryan on a huge stage. WrestleMania next year, fingers crossed, maybe, we'll see. Maybe even SummerSlam, I think would be a great place to do it. Number 5, Austin Aries versus Pentagon Jr. versus Phoenix for the Impact Wrestling Championship from Impact Wrestling Redemption. Very good action-packed main event. I thought it was better than the match they had at the Impact versus Lucha Underground show. And good stuff. And you had the nice surprise ending of Pentagon winning the title, which was very interesting. I'm like, oh, okay. I want to see where this goes. I like Pentagon. I want to see more of Pentagon. See what happens. And then from there, number 4 on my list, from the last day of the month, actually, right on Monday Night Raw from April 30th. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the IC title, the main event of the 4:30 Raw. A very good match, very exciting, and it managed to be a great match without being a finisher fest, which I really enjoyed that as well. I thought it was a very well put together match with great counters, great reversals, great wrestling, and they built it up well throughout the show with Finn getting in his cheap shot on Seth right before the match. So good stuff, just a good, enjoyable match. Number 3, the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi versus Cody and Hangman Page from Sakura Genesis 2018. I thought this was a very good preview to Cody versus Omega at Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. And to that end, I thought it served its purpose very well. I thought it was a very enjoyable tag team match. Typically on these New Japan shows, I don't like the tag team matches because they just kind of feel like filler, and I'd rather just watch the matches that actually count. But this one had a little bit more bite to it, especially since it was the first time that Omega and Cody were in the ring together since their feud really began. And Cody turned on Omega, and it kind of made me even more excited for the Cody-Omega match that happened WrestleMania weekend, and ultimately delivered, and I really enjoyed that match. So to that end, I thought this was very, very good. Number 2, Will Ospreay defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title against Marty Scurll, the villain, at Sakura Genesis 2018. Excellent Junior Heavyweight title match. I thought was very good. Excellent stuff. I mean, these two always deliver and always have excellent matches, but this one was probably the best one they've had so far. And you had that extra story element of Will Ospreay never defeating Marty Scurll, and he always seems to lose to him. So you had that element. He's like, oh, he's probably gonna what's his face? Will Ospreay's probably going to drop the title here to Marty because he never beats him, but that wasn't the case here. So you had that extra dramatic element to it. It made for a very exciting, hard-hitting match, and I thought was excellent stuff. Very entertaining and definitely worth checking out. And also from Sakura Genesis, you had my number 1 match for the month of April, Kazuchika Okada defending the IWGP World Heavyweight title against Zack Sabre Jr. When this match was first pitched after Zack Sabre Jr. won the New Japan Cup, I was like, oh boy, that's a fun pairing. I want to see that because Zack Sabre Jr. is a guy that I really enjoy watching his stuff because he can make the littlest things mean so much in a match, and just great attention to detail with him, and great stuff. And this match was no exception. I thought this was an absolutely outstanding main event. Great stuff. Indicative of the work that you expect out of Okada, indicative of the work that you expect out of Sabre Jr. Put them together, and they just made friggin' magic. I thought it was an excellent match. So great stuff there. Really loved it. And yeah, that concludes my top 10 matches for the month of April. Again, minus WrestleMania weekend. So hopefully you all enjoyed that. Okay, I'm just catching up on the comments here. Blah, 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 blah. You said House of... Oh, did I say House of Hard? I meant House of Hardcore. Yeah, that's what it's about. Yeah, it's supposed to be a House of Hardcore match. Okada versus Tana was excellent, as you'd expect, and Omega versus Hangman was great, too. Yeah, Hangman Page, he's doing pretty well for himself. He had a great match with Ibushi. He had that tag match with Omega and Cody and Ibushi, and that was great. Man, Hangman Page is actually doing quite well for himself. Of course, they're making tripping into Titus's gimmick now. See, that's like, it's going to become unfunny if they do it every week. They're going to kill it. I applaud Titus for being a good sport about the botch. That's going to be with him for the rest of his life, and pretty much has no other choice. Yeah, it's good. Well, just ask Fred Ottman about it, what it's like to trip at a wrestling event, and see what happens from there. But okay, so do you have any plans on checking out Cobra Kai? Funny you should mention that. I watched the first 2 episodes on YouTube. They're free on YouTube. It's shockingly not bad. Like, I was like, wow, that was actually pretty solid. I want to see where this goes. I want to watch the rest of the season. So kudos to them, because I did not expect it to be as good as it was. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in checking out more of that. So from there, let's jump into Backlash 2018. And I'm going to do a quick preview, quick rundown of the card. Okay, on the pre-show, we've got Bayley versus Ruby Riott. Okay, I guess I can pretend to care about that. On the main card, we've got Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I feel like they're going to do Strowman versus Lashley, so they'll probably have the heels go over and then have Strowman and Lashley kind of bicker at each other and then do that match. Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. That one could go either way, because I'm tempted to give the win to Big Cass just to like give him a good start on his return. But we'll see where it goes. Got Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe, which might be the closing match. Or are they gonna? No, they'll probably close with AJ Nakamura. But yeah. I guess I'm okay with that. I mean, they wouldn't job out Joe in his first match back, right? This was essentially, well, it's not his first match back because he had the ladder match, but it's his first like major feud, major pay-per-view match back. So I don't know. I guess they could go either way. I don't know. SmackDown's Women's Championship, we got Carmella versus Charlotte Flair. Charlotte's going to win the title back eventually, and she might here because she's obviously going to face Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania next year, but I don't know how soon. I don't know if this is going to be too soon to put the belt back on her. I don't know, but they could go either way there. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title, WrestleMania rematch. I guess that's okay. We've got, I have no idea who's going to win. I don't really care. Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton for the United States title. Okay. I guess that's okay. I don't know. Randy Orton bores me now. So I guess Hardy retains. Seth Rollins defending the IC title against The Miz. That could be pretty good. Although it does feel like a step down. Once you've done like a triple threat and a ladder match, this feels like a step down. And then you got AJ versus Nakamura in a no disqualifications match for the WWE Championship. Great. This is a case where a no DQ stip is totally warranted because you've got Nakamura low blowing him all over the place. And their last match ended in a double countout. So no DQ stip, totally warranted. Now you're going to get a winner. You're going to get a clean winner. I say Nakamura wins the belt here. I think they're going to do that. So those are my thoughts on Backlash. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like a card. That looks like it doesn't look terrible. It just looks like that looks like a card. I could watch that. I'm going to watch it tomorrow, so we'll see. So that is that. So if you all will hang tight real quickly, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go get myself a glass of water right before we turn on Clash of Champions. So stick right there. I will be back in just a minute. Okay. Okay, you know I said I was gonna get a glass of water, but I drank it real fast, and I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm getting a booze, getting a beer. By God, Scorpion Death Drop. Oh God, I hope we get that call during the show. Okay, well, if you all are ready, let's go ahead and watch some Clash of Champions. If we don't get AJ no selling a low blow because he's wearing a cup, I would be disappointed. That would be awesome. That would be like a great babyface outsmarting the heel type moment. I would actually pop pretty huge for that. Okay, we're going back to 1989. If I'm not mistaken, this is the final Clash of Champions in 1989, so another year bites the dust. Clash of Champions 9, Wednesday, November 15th, 1989. Clash of Champions 9, New York Knockout. Ric Flair puts the World Heavyweight title on the line against Terry Funk in an I Quit match. I cannot wait to watch this main event again. Camp WWE Season 2. Oh, by the way, has anyone seen the trailer for Camp WWE Season 2? There's a moment in there with Kid John Cena and Kid Nikki Bella that is hilariously cruel. Like, shockingly cruel, but kind of funny. I can't believe they put it in there, to be perfectly honest. Seems wildly insensitive.
I don't want your belt, that gold belt. I don't want your family. I don't want your money. I want something that's more valuable than that ever will be. I want your pride.
We're not talking about championship belts.
Based on what we saw in the last Clash of Champions, I think Funk wants Flair's corpse. Because this is actually awesome. We've basically seen the entire feud between Funk and Flair play out over the course of all of these Clash of Champions. The last, like, what, 2 or 3? I only watched the first episode of Camp WWE, not my cup of tea. Yeah, I didn't care for it that much either. The best thing on the show was Vince. Like, Vince was great. Everything else was kind of eh. I think there's some great ideas there, but it just wasn't executed very well.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the RPI Fieldhouse in beautiful Troy, New York.
Hello, Jim Ross.
Here already for Clash of Champions 9. I'm Jim Ross, and I'll call the play-by-play. It's my pleasure to be alongside the legendary Gordon Sully, who will provide...
Oh, Gordon Sully and Jim Ross. Good God. That's awesome.
But I think what everyone wants to see, who will say I quit in the confrontation involving Terry Funk and Ric Flair. We're just moments away from that. We are indeed.
Yeah, last week's stream we watched Clash of Champions 8, which concluded with Terry Funk trying to smother Ric Flair with a plastic bag, which is, I maintain, like one of the darkest things I've ever seen in pro wrestling. That was... Because a lot of the violence in pro wrestling has this kind of heightened reality to it where you don't... It's violent, but you don't think of it as like something that could happen in real life, like smacking somebody with a steel chair. But wrapping a plastic bag around somebody's head, that is easily imitatable, and that kind of gave me the willies. Made for great television, but it's like you'll never see anything like that again.
Introducing team number 1 from Pack Street, USA, Atlanta, Georgia, to overline weight 400.
Fabulous Freebirds. That's a nice looking stage. And we get Bad Street USA as the theme music. Thank you. Thank you. Bad Street, Atlanta, GA. Bad Street in the whole USA. See, when you use the real theme music, it makes me so much happier. God, young fans might not understand, but there was a point in his career where Michael Hayes actually did look cool. Versus the Road Warriors. Oh, cool. Why is there a checkerboard on my screen? Yes! We've got Iron Man too. It's like, it's so weird, like the songs we get and the songs we don't get. Like there are some songs that are like original to WWE that we don't get. Like Rick Rude's original theme, they dub over it. I'm like, what? You don't have you don't have the rights to an instrumental theme that was exclusive to your product? How does that happen? The Road Warriors might be the coolest fucking tag team of all time. Like, and really, it's them and Demolition that made me huge fans of the like the Bruiser tag teams. Like, I love my, you know, the Rockers are great and your pure wrestling tag teams are great, but there's something about big as fuck brawlers that can beat the shit out of you that I just adore. And it's like, I just love this shit. Like the Road Warrior, I will always mark out for like a Road Warrior style team or a Demolition style team or anything like that. It is so nice hearing Gordon Soley's voice. It's like Grandpa reading me a bedtime story. It's just so great. Yeah, you're not getting away. Fuck you, Hayes. Into the ring with you. Running big boot by Hawk. Clothesline by Hawk. The Freebirds getting their asses kicked.
The clothesline there by Hawk on the Road Warriors. And the Freebirds taking a little break outside the ring here.
I'm only a few years younger than you, but didn't start watching wrestling until the end of the Attitude Era. I bet wrestling in the early 90s was badass. Actually, not really. WCW was really bad, and WWE was kind of like, they were in this weird phase where it's like the rock and wrestling era was over, the golden age was over, so they were trying to like find themselves. There was some really good stuff in it, but it was kind of like, we were kind of in this phase where it's like, okay, what do we do next? And there was some stuff I really liked, like the Sting Vader matches and Savage Warrior, their feud, and a bunch of other things, but it wasn't like this red hot product that it was in like the mid-80s. Did this just start? Yes, Retro Kid, welcome to the stream. Yes, this is the first match. Road Warriors versus the Fabulous Freebirds. Road Warriors are just beating the shit out of them. Drop kick by Hawk. Double elbow by the Road Warriors. Now, Retro Kid, what I will say is that the stream started about, God, have I been on the air for almost an hour? Like, shit, like 40 minutes ago, and I reviewed Avengers Infinity War. I reviewed A Quiet Place. I gave my top 10 matches for, oh, sorry, Animal just no-sold a suplex. It's great. That's cool. I did my top 10 matches for April 2018, and I did a small preview for Backlash 2018. I just bought a PWG show from 2004. What was PWG like in 2004? I didn't know they were around that long ago. LOD, LOD, LOD. And more no-selling from Animal. Freebirds just can't get any traction here. Jumping shoulder block by Animal. But he missed. No, he got him. God, the Road Warriors are just taking turns beating the shit out of Michael Hayes.
And Hayes is going to have to start slipping to one side, trying to get his man down to the canvas. He doesn't want to continue this one-on-one battle up topside. He needs to get down to the mat. The Road Warriors are following the...
Oh, God. Jim Ross, hearing Jim Ross and Gordon Soley just, makes me so happy. So happy. Showdown clothesline by Hawk.
This Saturday night, 6 o'clock, right here on TBS. Tag mate, Jimmy Garvin comes back in.
Thanos was amazingly well done. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I loved. He was the best thing in the movie, I thought.
Closes in, trying to take the vested plan. I'll see. I question that. And putting him outside the ring unless he's trying to bring it early.
The big guys are dominating most of the match. I know, right? It's almost like the heels have to cheat. Okay, and the Freebirds are double teaming. They're double teaming Animal right now. See, they're cheating.
Absolutely. The referee's attention diverted in that manner, and now Garvin and
Freebirds have got him. Double teaming, quick tags. Slow and steady wins the race. By God, Sola. That sounded more like JBL than Jim Ross. I'm sorry. Did you see Jericho swerved us again? Didn't he say something like he was done with New Japan? And then it's like, people kind of figured out that he was going to be at the new show. Who did you think was better, Gorilla or JR? Love both. I would go with JR. I thought JR was better. Gorilla was a little too biased towards the baby faces, and Jim Ross was too, but Jim Ross had more of... Oh, Hawk just threw the referee. See, it's like Hawk is like, I'm not putting up with this double teaming shit. And yep, the Road Warriors just got DQ'd. Big boot by Hawk, but it doesn't matter. The Freebirds will win this by disqualification. Clothesline. Yeah, it's like, it's amazing when you, like, adhere to your own rules. Like, there's, like, a huge, like, a gasp when somebody touches the referee because, like, oh, my God, that's a DQ. Because you just, what is up with the video quality here? That is the shittiest looking replay I've ever seen in my life. What the hell happened? Yeah, that was a production gaffe right there. But it doesn't matter. The Road Warriors kick their asses.
Thank you very much, Gordon Sully. I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, ringside here in Troy, New York, with Gary Hart and Terry Funk. A little bit later tonight, you or Ric Flair will say, "I quit" to this whole crowd and the world.
You shut up for 1 minute. Hey, Ric Flair and
For future reference, whatever Jericho says, assume the opposite. Yeah, I love Jericho. Jericho is in this great position right now where, you know, he was just on a WWE show. He was at the biggest New Japan show of the year. New Japan wants him. WWE wants him. And he can do both. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome that he can pull that off.
love the sport of professional wrestling. He says he's not a quitter. Well, I'm not quitting here in New York at the knockout. Only one person is going to quit. Is that right or not? Yeah, because you remember, you are a Texan. Your daddy was great. Your brother was great. You and Junior were the only two brothers that ever held the world title. And don't embarrass Texas here tonight. All of Texas is watching. All of Texas is watching, brother.
I love Texas.
Don't let me down. Oh, Gary, I am not going to let you down, but I don't want your help. I don't need anyone's help. I don't need your help either, Jim Ross, because I am the best.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up in just 1 moment.
It's also really interesting that Jericho's pretty much a completely different character on WWE compared to New Japan. Yeah, it's like In New Japan, he's kind of a badass. In WWE, he's kind of that joke guy that does the list and all that other stuff.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to TBS, the Superstation. Jim Ross.
Try to apply Scott Steiner math to all the matches. I can't do that. I'm not that smart.
Senior editor of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Bill Apter.
Bill Apter getting a TV appearance.
Some very important awards, as the fans have been voting for the past several weeks for the most popular wrestler in the National Wrestling Alliance and on World Championship Wrestling. And I know that you have been involved in this situation as well, Bill.
Well, I'm very thrilled that the NWA has given me the opportunity to present this prestigious award. Ladies and gentlemen, you voted for this award. The most popular wrestler
Is it Sting?
in the NWA and one of the most popular wrestlers in the world today. Here he is, Sting!
Called it.
The fans have...
Yeah, I called it. That thing that happened almost 30 years ago. I called it. There's the Stinger. There he is. He's the man called Sting. He does this, he does that. He's as quick as a cat. What's not to love?
The most popular wrestler. What would you like to say to all your fans?
I guess maybe I should say that I'm not worthy of this. Or maybe I should say somebody else deserves it. Maybe I should say I don't deserve it. But I'm not going to do that because this feels too good. You know what I'm talking about? Woo!
Woo!
All the little fingers out there, especially.
Sting, the NWA's most popular wrestler.
Yeah, it's like Jericho's targeting all the the faction leaders, it seems.
We have one more award, ladies and gentlemen, we wanted to do here. And Bill, why don't you explain this one?
Okay, this award is presented by the editors of Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine. It is a special award for the Wrestler of the Decade. I want to introduce this man. He started out the decade in 1980 by winning the United States Heavyweight Championship.
It's got to be Flair.
4 times you fans voted him PWI Wrestler of the Year. He is the one and only...
Don't you dare cross him or get in his way.
NWA Heavyweight Champion, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine, Wrestler of the Decade, the Nature Boy, and the champ, Ric Flair!
Woo! Woo! I feel like this is setting up Sting versus Flair for the title in 1990. It was apparently, from what I've heard, Sting was supposed to win the title much sooner than he did, but he got injured, and that kind of like forced them to change their plans. He won it at Great American Bash 1990, but he was supposed to win it much sooner than that. God, look at Flair's like George Washington hair. Look at that.
I hope this doesn't date me, and I hope the next 10 are as good to me as the last 10 have been. Thank you very much.
They weren't, Rick. I hate to say it. The next 10 years weren't as good to you. I'm so sorry. Not that you didn't have your moments, but... Woman and Doom? Oh, God. Every time I see Nancy Sullivan, I get, like, it's so awkward. Or Nancy Benoit or whatever. Oh, God. So awkward. So awkward.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen, here in Troy, New York. Jim Ross along with Gordon Soley at ringside. Before we see Woman present Doom, let's hear these pre-recorded comments from the most controversial lady in the sport.
It's your lucky day today.
Oh, my God.
How could they have a national TV program?
Okay, Nancy looks really hot here.
Woman. Why? Because I have Doom to rule the wrestling world. The Steiners are finished. No one can stand in my way. Not the Road Warriors, not the Skyscrapers, and definitely not the Midnight Express. No one can stop me, and no one can stop Doom from ruling the wrestling world. Why? Because I am woman. So men, look at it, wish you had it, and eat your heart out. And Rick Steiner, tonight I have a large surprise for you.
Okay, she's kind of hot. I know that's weird. It's so weird to say that now, but yeah, the name they gave her, Woman, that always confused me as a child because I was like, why is she named Woman? And the only thing that makes sense in my head now is it's kind of like Irene Adler in Sherlock Holmes, who in the original stories she was only used in one of the original Conan Doyle stories. what was it, a Scandal in Bohemia. And Sherlock Holmes referred to her as the woman as like a sign of respect, because it's like she was able to best me. So she got it was like this title of honor. She is the woman, the one that bested Sherlock Holmes. So I guess there's something to that, and that's what I don't know if they put that much thought into it, but that's the only way like Nancy Sullivan's name of woman made any sense to me. She's like, she is so good at what she does. She is like the woman. Doom. All right, I asked on an earlier stream, how would you book a Lucha Underground versus New Japan card? Continuing that question, who would you have face Okada? Ooh. I think Phoenix would be really good for him. I think they could do some great stuff together. Phoenix would be like a Phoenix or Pentagon. Now we got Doom, 2 masked men. For those of you who don't know, it is Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. I've read all of the novels and I've read all of the short stories. Actually, be right back. Actually have them all right here. I'm a bit of a Sherlockian. I love Sherlock Holmes. I've also listened to the audiobooks narrated by Stephen Fry. They are awesome. Okada versus Mundo. Yes, Okada versus Mundo would be a great one too. I completely slipped. It was like, yeah, Mundo versus Okada would be amazing. Cena and Aleister Black versus TM61. That's what your universe mode spat that out for you. That's pretty awesome. That's so random. That's such a random ass match, but it's so like interesting. Hound of the Baskervilles. Yes, I agree. That's the best of the 4 novels by far. I think that it's, you know, it's one that a lot of people have adapted and a lot of, like, it's been told a lot. And it's the most famous of the novels. There's a reason for that. It's legitimately the best one.
And has been wrestling since he was about 3 years old. So you got a situation there of a tremendous experience and background.
Yeah, that's clearly Ron Simmons right there.
And very frankly, I don't know just exactly how much professional experience they've had. I'll tell you something, no one.
All right, so we've got Doom going up against Tommy Rich and Ed Gilbert.
Some instructions on their little huddle.
Damn!
Just moments ago. They are very unpopular here. As the bell sounds, and we are ready to go.
2 black men wrestling in a Southern promotion are unpopular? I'm shocked. I'm shocked, Jim.
Eddie Gilbert will start out. For simplicity's sake, we'll say against Doom number 1, Gordon. Yeah, I think that's the way to go on that. By the way, those of you in New Orleans, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Columbus, Ohio.
Did Doom really need the masks? I mean, when you think about it, like, I mean, that's like, I don't know. I feel like they don't need masks. Like, Ron Simmons is such an expressive guy already that he doesn't need it.
Columbus, Ohio, on Monday the 20th. So if you live in those areas and you think it's exciting here on television, as you're watching at home now, it's just twice as exciting.
What do you think of Jim Cornette's views on wrestling, especially on guys like Kenny Omega and Joey Ryan? I think they're like Jim has a great grasp on a lot of wrestling 101 style things, like how to build a feud, how to get heat on a heel, things like that. I think he's very smart in that aspect. I also think he is wildly out of touch. So, because he wants it to be just like it was in the 1970s, and it can't be. It's, you've got to evolve. You've got to, you know, it's like in Moneyball, adapt or die. And Jim Cornette never really adapted. So, you know, if he could take like that wrestling 101 knowledge and find a way to make it work for today's audiences, he'd be great. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants it to be old school 1970s, 1980s wrestling, and it can't be that anymore. It can't. Just realized Dominion on June 9th, and then Lucha Underground returns June 13th. Oh my God, that is going to be a great week. I'm going to be so happy about that.
Gilbert to be successful in this one would assume that they need to keep Doom off balance and keep them on the mat. That's a tall order for anyone. As Doom number 2 goes big right hand.
Duck the clothesline. Leapfrog. Up and Wildfire with the hip toss. Tommy Rich. So many wrestlers had their initials on their boots. It's really weird. Retro Kid 64. That's my birthday month. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. Okay, Eddie Gilbert get tagged in.
If they can move around them, get cute with them, then they've got a chance here. Side headlock applied by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Has anyone ever seen the movie Hot Stuff with Dom DeLuise and Suzanne Flechette? Has anyone seen that? Sidewalk Slam. That's Butch Reed.
It has slowed down now to a pace that I would think that Doom is very compatible in.
Vertical suplex by Butch Reed. Would CM Punk make a good Bullet Club member? Yes. Simple, quite like as like a voice box for them or like a mouthpiece for them, he'd be great. I don't know if he's got like any interest in actually wrestling again, but I think he'd fit in pretty well there. I don't know what he was trying to do there. That looked like a botch. But again, back in the old days when you botched, they would just kind of keep going and not worry about it. They didn't act like they fucked up most of the time. The guys that knew what they were doing, they would just kind of like, just keep rolling, keep trucking. And nowadays, it's like when a botch happens, like they just look like deer in the headlights and they look like they fucked up.
Because of this kind of sport and because it's a high contact sport, there is a great degree of ego involved in all of these athletes, and it takes an objective, the third person, to really get a good tag team going. Eddie Gilbert now, being punished by Doom number 1.
Swinging net breaker. That's Ron Simmons who hit that.
Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's amazing. We've got like Road Warriors kind of controlled most of the match against the Freebirds. Now we got Doom who's kind of beating the shit out of Eddie Gilbert and Tommy Rich. He's friends with the Young Bucks, so it's possible. Yeah, I mean, they could do something together. I mean, All In's going to be held in Chicago, right? I mean, if they got CM Punk to be on that show. Not a huge follower of New Japan, but I heard that Okada versus Omega 4 is a no time limit match. I didn't know they had signed the 4th match, so that's cool. I'm down with that. Oh, Doom just hit like a top rope heart attack almost. 1, 2, 3, it is over. Doom gets the win. Tommy Rich is dead. Starrcade 89, Future Shock. Wednesday, December 13th. You want to watch Starrcade 89? I'm just kidding.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition right here on the Clash of Champions of the Louisville Slugger. And tonight, I would like to present my special guests, the All-Americans from Michigan, none other than the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott Steiner. Come on.
They're my boys, the Steiners. Yeah.
I've seen this move you've been doing, Scott. That weird thing, it's like a combination of backflip and flying head scissors. Do you have a name for that? What do you call that thing anyway?
Oh, you know, Jim, a lot of people have been impressed with that move and wanted me to come up with a name for it. So the other day, me and my brother were sitting by the TV. I want to say what me and Scott was watching a scary movie and Frankenstein. Yeah, and when he comes out, all the people are going. So and every time I see you guys in the ring, they go. So I come up with a name. I'm thinking, what's your name? What Frankensteiner?
The Frankensteiner. That's what.
The Frankensteiner. He's fat. Want to watch Halloween Havoc 98 on repeat, but only Hogan versus Warrior? No, I would not enjoy that. That would lose its luster after a while.
Let me say this. The Skyscrapers, they're big, they're rough, they're undefeated, biggest team in wrestling, Scott. You got to take them seriously.
There's no doubt about it, the Skyscrapers are big. But there ain't a person in this world that me and my brother can't suplex. And what they gonna do when they're on their backs that tall? Nothing.
The Skyscrapers tonight, but you've also got the tag team known as Doom in your future. Woman has sworn she is going to ruin your career, and she's going to use Doom to do it.
They're gonna use Doom.
God, their tag division's super deep. They've got the Road Warriors, the Steiners, the Skyscrapers, Doom, the Freebirds.
Never hit a lady. But then again, you ain't no lady.
Oh, God. Scott Steiner just threatened to hit a woman. Oh, Scotty, I love you. You're great. Thinking's dangerous for you, Rick.
My mom down here, and she can slap the, you know what, out of her. Hey, Mom, slap her.
It sounds like your mom's the toughest one in the Steiner family.
Yeah, every time I sleep, my buddy would come home, she kicked out of all of us. So she was the toughest. Even my dad used to tell my dad what to do.
She used to beat your dad up?
No, just tell him what to do.
But she can slap woman around, huh?
Yeah, she can slap women around.
You know, woman's had some comments to make about you lately, Rick.
Oh, she says everybody out there wants it. Well, I had it, and I don't want it.
Yeah! I don't want it. God, like the Steiners, I love them so much. Like, you have no idea how big of a mark I am for the Steiner brothers. Okay, what's next? Who the hell's coming out now? Oh, fuck me! No! The Dynamic Dudes! No! Shane Douglas wasn't even skateboarding there. Oh, fuck you guys. You suck. God damn. You are like the most instantly and easily hateable tag team I have ever seen. And you're supposed to be baby faces. You are like the Ninja Turtles shit on the cast from Saved by the Bell. And you guys spawned from that interaction. You are just terrible. I hate the Dynamic Dudes. Would you rather watch Hogan versus Warrior or the main event of Mania 22? I would rather watch Hogan versus Warrior from a Halloween Havoc because that match is at least funny and it's half as long, so you know. When I was younger, I was a huge mark for Shark Boy and Sin Cara. I like Shark Boy. He was fun for what he was. People power. Yep, people power. PP. He's full of PP. Fuck him. Fuck the Dynamic Dudes. And we've got the Midnight Express. Sweet Stan and Beautiful Bobby. Oh, God, the Dynamic Dudes. They're instantly the heels. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you could put them up against Nazis, and I'd be like, fuck, Zeke Heil. I'm rooting for the Nazis over the Dynamic Dudes. The Nazis are at least honest. You are just corporate trash. What do you think about Hogan's return to WWE? Almost a done deal per TMZ. I mean, it was inevitable. Hogan was going to come back eventually. It's just like, let's wait for the storm to die down, and then we'll bring him back. So, you know. He actually had a 4-star match, John did, in All Japan. Who the fuck did John Laurinaitis have a 4-star match with?
Hands with Stan Lane, and of course, reportedly you hear stories about the fact that they're sort of
God, you know, this is a shame. I like Shane Douglas. I hate the Dynamic Dudes. I just look at them and I get angry.
regardless of that. Well, now the Dynamic Dudes want more net. He can't do it.
Midnight Express, Viva Bobby, who has the longest association with Cornette, trying to convince Cornette to be in their corner.
Okay, so Jim Cornette is managing both teams.
Keep his word and stay right in the neutral corner and watch this one. It is beautiful. Bobby starting out.
Which is odd, because you didn't see that happen too often. I do remember Bobby Heenan managed both Haku and Harley Race in the match they had at Royal Rumble '89.
Don't forget Gordon Solik,
And Bobby was great in that match. Go watch it. He was hysterical.
Chris Cruz, and Lance Russell for the post-game wrap-up show tonight live on the Wrestling Hotline, starting at 10:35 tonight.
And that number, by the way, is 1-900-909-9900.
No, it was a 5-star, and
We look forward to you tuning in.
it was a 5-star match, and it had
We'll have that live
Misawa, Akira Taue, and Dr. Death Steve Williams in a tag match. Oh, it was a tag match, so he probably didn't do as much work as they did. Oops. Drop kick. Well, at least the dudes aren't botching all over the place like they were the last time we saw them on Clash of Champions. God, fuck them. They suck. Hate them. Again, it's purely a case of like, you look at that gimmick and you just instantly hate them. And that's my reaction to the dynamic dudes. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna fucking hate you. I just can't stand you. You look like the 90s just vomited out garbage. And you are the end result of that. Dynamic trash. Yeah, they're dynamic trash, all right. I think the reason I hate the dudes is that they're clearly like designed to sell merchandise and be hip with the kids. Gotta be hip with the youths, yo. And it comes off as so incredibly transparent and lame that they just suck.
Well, that's it. He's not remaining neutral. That's the thing he's got to be careful of.
Shane's got that switch.
Referee missed that. 1, 2, there.
And the referee was trying to restrain.
Oh.
And here comes Johnny Ace, the man that has the problem. Or should I say, or should we say, Gordon, that Stan Lane has the problem with Johnny Ace?
Yes, and someone else who perhaps will be clever now.
He went for that rounding off.
You mean kind of like John Cena? Yeah, exactly like John Cena. Exactly.
You got a man like that, Jim Cornette,
The torch of Botchamania has passed from the Shockmaster to Titus O'Neil. Exactly.
against the team that he manages. It's almost like a football coach coaching two teams and then sitting on the 50-yard line on Sunday.
Not knowing which one to root for.
Drop kick. Johnny Ace getting some drop kicks in there.
4-inch Johnny Ace is getting the frame out there, and Sweet Stan backs into his corner. Beautiful Bobby makes the tag, and the native of Huntsville, Alabama, will attempt his luck here against the rangy dynamic dude.
By the way, we were talking about wrestling and upcoming the balance of this week around the country. Let me give you our Thanksgiving week spectacular. I'm talking about 32 of the NWA's top stars will be, as Willie Nelson would say, on the road again. And where they're going to be, well, they'll be in Raleigh on the 21st.
Come on, the dynamic dudes are kicking the Midnight Express's asses. I'm like, come on.
Drop kicks there by Johnny, kicking Bobby right out here near the table. No, I hope they will stay somewhere away from us. I like getting around the guys, Gordon. But not in this environment.
No, you're exactly right.
Shane O'Mac.
Wow, Shane Douglas with an over-the-top plancha. Okay. I mean, I still fucking hate you, but God, Shane Douglas, he was a guy that he was, you know, when I think of the great ECW champions, I think he might have been the greatest ECW champion ever. He was really good. Kind of like the prototype for Triple H in a way. Okay. Let me go get my phone. Oh shit, I got a bunch of messages. Oh, what do you people want? Okay. Yeah, the dynamic dudes are controlling this match. Shane Douglas and Ricky Steamboat as a tag team were great. Yes, they were, and we will see them on the Clash of Champions, if I'm not mistaken, on a future edition.
You're talking about the Omni, and that's very, very true. We'll also be in Roanoke on the 24th, Philadelphia and Baltimore on the 25th.
The storyline with Brock Lesnar and Roman would be so much better if anyone like a CM Punk or Sami Zayn, for a more relevant example, was in the babyface position. Yeah, probably. Oh. Okay, now the Midnight Express is Bobby Eaton. He's got Shane Douglas on the corner. Superplex. No! Shane countered out of it. I've never seen that before. That's interesting. Roll up by Shane, too. No. Crossbody by... I tell you what, Shane Douglas is really working his ass off in this match. I don't suck, damn it. It's the gimmick. I'm actually good. Shane Douglas gets the tag. Johnny Ace is in there. To the delight of no one. Now the Midnight Express gets a tag. And now Johnny Ace is getting his ass kicked.
Coming out of that corner. Straight right hand. And now Eaton is in trouble. Get tossed right out of the corner. Johnny up on top.
Monkey flip. Johnny Ace botched a monkey flip. I have never seen a botched monkey flip before. I have never seen that.
I believe you're right. He caught him, and it was a perfectly strong right hand. And Stan Lane, I'll tell you what, he can mix it up with the best of it. That's exactly what he's doing now.
Stan Lane has been waiting on this matchup, this particular pairing, to have Johnny Ace at his mercy, so to speak, and be able to punish him with everything he has.
Russian leg sweep. Midnight Express in control.
And now, could it be the... He's up on top.
Rocket
Rocket launcher.
launch. Oh no!
Oh, they are so well scouted in this one.
Johnny Ace got his knees up. Douglas gets tagged in.
He knocked Lane down, and now back to Eaton, sends him for the ride, and there he goes. He's elevated up in the lights. Midnight Express in a great deal of trouble in this contest. Suplex, looks like Bobby Eaton, a great Bobby Eaton movement. It's Shane Douglas. And the save was made by Sweet Stan.
ECW was the only company that knew how to use Shane Douglas. Feels that way when you look at how he turned out in every other company. Oh, Cornette jumps into the ring. Oh, Cornette with the... Yes! Cornette just turned on the dudes. 1, 2, 3. Ha 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 ha! Dudes, you suck. Movie Fan 04. Let's see. Just later on in 30 years, John Laurinaitis would face John Cena in a one of the worst main events. That match was terrible. Yes, it was. Roman Reigns sucks. Then again, Johnny Trash did a monkey flip and botched it. Yeah, at least I've never seen Roman Reigns botch a monkey flip. Johnny Ace didn't have the people power on that monkey flip. No, he didn't.
Wrestling fans, the following contest, it is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing in the ring, parts unknown, weighing 255 pounds, the Super Destroyer.
Is this another Jack Victory mask gimmick? I mean, Super Destroyer is a lot less offensive than the Terrorist. Hi, Dr. Death. How you doing? I don't know why. When I was a kid, I thought Dr. Death was like the coolest name ever. It's like, oh my God, he's a doctor of death. That's amazing. And once again, this stock music is lousy. I don't know what, I don't remember what song like Dr. Death was using at this point, but it's like, wait, they can get Iron Man, but they can't get, like, I don't know, it's weird. And there's a fat Santa Claus. Why? Why is Norman the Lunatic dressed up like Santa Claus? Jim Ross, I think there was like a little sarcasm there. The Super Destroyer, this 300-pounder we have not seen before. And like Jack Victory has been under a mask for like 3 or 4 of the Clash of Champions so far. Under different masks and different gimmicks. Roman is just John Cena 10 years later. For example, John fought Triple H at WrestleMania 22. 10 years later, Roman Reigns fought Triple H. Both terrible. Yeah. Well, he's John Cena part 2. Like, that's the thing. He's like, he is the designated guy, whether we like it or not. Gorilla Press by Dr. Death. Military Press, up and down. Clothesline by Dr. Death. And Jack Victory goes soaring out of the ring and into a table. Damn. Didn't they give Dr. Death Dan Severn's theme in a video game? Yes, they did. I think it was the WWF Attitude game. They gave him the Dan Severn's theme. Michael Cole is one of the worst commentators ever. Yes, he is. I agree. Are we getting the Oklahoma Slam? Oklahoma Stampede? Yep, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that was quick. And his name is John Cena. That's the best thing Cena's ever been a part of, was that Crank Call Fest. That was hilarious. And Norman the Lunatic Santa Claus just gave Dr. Death a teddy bear. Okay? Besides Make-A-Wish. Yes. Make-A-Wish is seen as like greatest work. But, you know. I seem to always be busy when you go live on these streams, but I'm really enjoying myself here. I appreciate your point of view on past wrestling. Thank you. Glad that these are entertaining for you guys. All right, now we've got the Skyscrapers, the first incarnation of the Skyscrapers, Sid Vicious and Dan Spivey, with Theodore Long as their manager. A certain fellow by the name of Mean Mark Calloway, or Mean Mark Callis, would eventually take Sid's place as part of the Skyscrapers. He never really went on to do anything. He was just kind of a, middle-of-the-road guy that never really went anywhere. Yeah, I wonder what Mark Callis is up to these days. Wonder what he's doing. Steiner time, baby! My Steiner brothers. I'm a huge mark for the Steiner brothers. It's ridiculous. There's Scott. Where's Rick? Where the hell's Rick? Oh, Rick's coming out through the crowd. Okay. He's like throwing popcorn into the crowd. That's an interesting entrance. Loving the mullet from Scott Steiner here. It's seeing a young Scott Steiner is hilarious to me. In WWE, I thought some of the promos with The Rock were good because he broke away from his formula and said he didn't respect Rock. Rock didn't respect The Rock? Wait, some of his promos, who's his? Like in WWE, I thought some of his promos were good because he broke away from his formula and didn't respect Rock. I don't know, like who are you talking about? Movie fan 04.
The Steiners this Saturday, 6 o'clock on World Championship Wrestling in their Super Bowl when they meet the Freebirds for the World Tag Titles.
Oh, John Cena. Yes, John Cena. I agree. Yeah. His work against Rock was great, and then he ultimately became exactly what he criticized The Rock for, a part-timer. Here we go. Okay, we're starting off with Dan Spivey and Rick Steiner, the dog-faced gremlin. German suplex? No. Got him up! German suplex. Ho! Steiner line sends him out of the ring. I love the Steiners so much. I'm sorry. I'm such a mark for these guys. They're so great. I love them so much. John Cena might go down as the biggest hypocrite in WWE history. I mean, you know. RPI. All right, Spivey got a tombstone. He just tombstoned Rick Steiner. 1, 2. Scott breaks up the pin. Did you hear about James Ellsworth's intergender championship? I did not. What is that? Well, Roman is up there as a huge hypocrite with the Vince's boy thing with Brock. Yeah, like Roman isn't Vince's boy. Okay, that's cute. Frankensteiner! Oh my God, what did Scott just do there? He like picked up Sid and he did like a backflip body slam with him. And it's like, what the fuck was that? Peanut Head? Who the hell's Peanut Head?
I would venture to say if you measured them around the biceps, around the triceps, up around the shoulders and all, they probably measure.
John Cena immediately getting a shot against Ray for the belt the night he won. Yeah, that was bullshit. I'm like, okay, how is Cena not the heel here? He's getting an undeserved title shot against the guy that just won the belt. So Ray wrestles twice and Cena doesn't. And it's like, yeah, that's fair. That's real fair.
The tag now made, he saw it. It's legal. I
And then they wonder why people booed Cena. It's like, dude, it's like that is a wildly unfair situation. Okay, Scott's in there with Sid. Skid, Irish whip. Oh, Sid with a diving shoulder tackle. Miss, no connection. Scotty's just working over the arm. Oh! Drop kick by Dan Spivey. Sid hit a clothesline that sent Scotty down. And now a tombstone on Scott Steiner. Oh no, he just hurled him down. Big boot by Spivey. Scott blocks a suplex. Scott hits a suplex of his own. Did you hear about the Roman plans? I did hear about that. Yeah, just business as usual. Even though Punk's return was too soon, I say we were saved by that. Maybe. All right, Rick's in there. Who? And a power slam by Rick. Oh, and the Steiners just double team Sid Vicious. Take him down. Doom! Frankensteiner on Doom! Belly to belly by Rick. Referee calls for a DQ. Steiners win by DQ because Doom interfered. We got the Skyscrapers. We've got Doom. We've got the Steiners. It's a melee out there. And that woman just smacked Rick Steiner with her shoe. That's not smart. Who is that? Some big guy just got in there and blocked Nancy Sullivan from getting beat up. Is that Nash? And they're the Road Warriors. You know, I talked about how deep the tag division was. Well, now we've got 4 of them. The Road Warriors and the Steiners joining forces. This is awesome. What were your thoughts on Titus World Slide? I thought it was hilarious. I almost pissed myself laughing. It was great.
You'll get your chance to wrestle Doom. You'll get your chance to wrestle the Skyscrapers. You will be wrestling the Road Warriors, but it looks like there's an allegiance being built with the Steiners and the Road Warriors here tonight.
That's right. That's the way me and my brother get it done in Detroit. And that's the way that Hogan and Steamboat get it done in Chicago. So it's that game. Doom, we're coming after you. And Hogan and Steamboat are taking you where you guys, Skyscrapers. You're still a gibbers. The Steiners are throwing out the camera all their lives. Hogan and I have known each other since we were little punks. Billy Graham, the big man, and the punks. And now, you don't miss. We're stuck in his closest family.
Roman and his plan sounds like a Benny and the Jets parody. Maybe. Okay, the big guy that helped out Nancy Sullivan, that was oh, very interesting. Okay, so apparently the big guy that came out and saved Nancy, he was the guy that played Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie.
Can you imagine the forcing puppies like us?
Very interesting. Interesting little cameo there. I don't remember seeing much of him as a wrestler. I knew he was a wrestler, but I know him as Sabretooth from X-Men, so it was nice to see him here.
The fact of the matter is, truth wears many faces. We got 4 guys here that are willing to take on the skyscraper. We got 4 guys here that are willing.
Universe Mode put out another great match: Cesaro versus Cedric Alexander. That'd be a cool match. Road Warriors and Steiners. That's a hell of a Survivor Series team, isn't it?
Will be decided when we come back next.
Okay, whoop. United States title coming up next. Flying Brian, and I believe he faces Lex Luger here, if I'm not mistaken. Who knew a WWE video game has better booking than WWE? Well, when it's automated, you know, I guess it increases the probability of getting it right, right? Lex Luger. I liked Luger as U.S. champion. And again, that set looks really great with the big staircase. That actually looks like a really cool set.
Believe it or not, this man is the man to beat. 6'5", 275. Unbelievable.
I would have to agree with you, except for one thing. In a series of grueling matches like that, the cardiovascular development is going to be critical as well. And that's where I think Muda may be the man to really watch for here. And I'm not diminishing certainly Ric Flair in the slightest. But right now, this match could take enough out of both of these men that they're going to need off between now and the 13th for the Starcade.
Yeah, they're talking about the Starcade, Soley and Jim Ross. They're talking about the Starcade round robin tournament because that was the year where it was Sting, Luger, Muda, and Flair in a round robin tournament. Kind of a throwaway show. It didn't have like an epic feel to it. It just felt like kind of a gimmicky show, but they're actually analyzing and discussing the show and like the concept and who has the advantage in that situation. I'm like, oh, what a crazy idea. Have the announcers try to analyze shit. Remember in the build-up to Cena versus Punk when Cena addresses the fans wanting him to improve in ring and heel turn and pretty much says, nah, not happening? I do remember that. That was hilarious.
U.S. Heavyweight Championship goes on the line right now. One fall, a 60-minute time limit. Flying Brian probably getting away.
Okay, we're going to get some high flying versus power in this one.
Muscular confirmation the definition on both men is, I would say, approximately even. However, it is Luger who is the bigger of the two, and they very quickly lock up power now.
Flying Brian, so intent in this one. I spoke with him before he went on the air. He was very nervous.
very uptight. And I think rightfully so, because that man has got to be the ultimate challenge. Who will be the Iron Man of '89? My money goes on, as bad as I hate to say it, Lex Luger, because
What Road to WrestleMania match in the end sounds best? Chris Jericho versus Randy Orton, WrestleMania 24. Shawn Michaels versus JBL, WrestleMania 25, or Edge versus Christian, WrestleMania 26. I don't remember any of those except for HBK versus JBL, and I hated that feud. So I don't know. I can't really answer that one because I don't remember any of those except for the one, which I didn't like.
Luger was in the trenches, whereas Bryan was a member of the Suicide Squad, so to speak, and the attitude of the guys in this
Come on, Luger, you can overpower Bryan. You can overpower Pillman. Come on.
And was in the trenches. You'll notice too that Luger doesn't have any scars. He's never blown out a shoulder or an elbow or a knee, which indicates to me that perhaps while on that.
All right, Luger knocks him down. Flying Bryan with a leapfrog, drop down. Leapfrog again, drop kick. Luger goes down, drop kick again. Down he goes. Luger does not look happy.
Championship Wrestling Committee decided that it was time for a rematch, and what better place than right here on TBS. Our hats off to the World Championship Wrestling brass for ordering this match so quick from October 28th to November 15th. Yeah, actually, it was a power move because Luger, I'm sure, did everything that he could to avoid having this match tonight. He's not happy about it.
Ooh.
And now he's much less than happy. And
Luger looks off his game here. A little intimidated by the much smaller competitor. What are your thoughts on the Backlash card for tomorrow? Some matches look good. Overall, it looks like a fairly standard card. Nothing overly offensive. So, I really like the AJ Nakamura match was made no DQ. I think that fits the storyline. I think Flying Bryan is too fast and too athletic for Lex Luger. This is why when I do my universe mode, I do not include NXT as a show and only do Raw and SmackDown because of how I like booking 2 shows instead of 3. I mean, it's more difficult, and that's part of the problem that WWE has. There's just so much content, it's almost impossible to A, write for all of it, and B, expect audiences to keep up with all of it.
I think he's just developed that too in his full maturity in the last year. 3 years in the sport, 3 times U.S. champion. No one in the sport has ever attained the lofty status in the first 3 years that Lex Luger has. And he hammers Flying Bryan in the corner. Luger wants to keep Pillman in the corner on the ropes so he can use his strength and that bulk advantage. But Flying Bryan.
Here comes Pillman, slapping and chopping his way. Luger gets him, and no! Flips out of the suplex. Flying Bryan, no, couldn't get the roll-up. Oh, Bryan skins the cat. Luger looks like an idiot. Spinning kick by Flying Bryan. The tiny man is making you look like a fool, muscle boy.
I would certainly have to agree with that. And the fans here giving Pillman that extra incentive to go forward. But once again, you see how Luger is falling. He's on his bicycle. Waits, gets that momentum slowed down. Get it broken.
If you put Raw, SmackDown, and NXT together, that's 7 hours of content. Yeah. And then you get monthly pay-per-views. You get, you know, I mean, that's a lot of content. Get quarterly NXT specials. It's a lot. Flying Brian with a missile dropkick. 1, 2, no. Chops. More chops. Flying Brian, he's wrenching and working over the arm now. Can't lock on too many torture racks if you got a bad arm. Flying Brian, is he going to... Oh, he just draped Luger's arm over the ring post. It's very heelish of you, Flying Brian. He's just beating the crap out of Luger's arm. What did you think of the matches Pillman and Luger had? They were great. I thought they had really good matches. This is no exception. Their Halloween Havoc match was good, and this one's good. I liked Luger as U.S. champion. I thought he did some good work. The people that say Luger sucked, he never did anything good, I'm like, I disagree. I thought he was great as U.S. champion. I thought I liked the narcissist gimmick. I thought they should have never dropped that gimmick.
So Pillman now is doing what he should be doing, concentrating on one part of the body. You take away that arm, it's like on a table. You've got 4 legs. So you take away
oh, Liger. I'm sorry, I misread that. The Liger. No, Pillman and Liger also had great matches. First match in Nitro history. And those were my earliest exposure to Jushin Thunder Liger, who I instantly fell in love with because I thought he was cool. Yeah, they did have very enjoyable matches. Backdrop suplex, kind of like the precursor to the WCW Cruiserweight division. And now Luger is in control.
Interesting to watch the chest of Lex Luger to find out how much breath he's taking in. Breath.
Gorilla press. What's he going to do with Pillman? What's he going to do with him? Just slams him. Movie Fan 04, I think I can guess your WrestleMania 34 MVP and LVP. MVP, Daniel Bryan. Least valuable player, Roman Reigns. I mean, that's a very good guess. I mean, that's very close. I would throw Ronda up there as a potential MVP as well. I thought her match turned out exceptionally well. For least valuable player, I think both Brock and Roman deserve credit for that fiasco. But, yeah, I mean, that's fairly close. Brock Lesnar versus Shawn Michaels as a main event for SmackDown Live. Shit, that's a bit of a score. That's a bit of a coup. Come on, Brian. Brian's making a comeback. No, Luger flings him outside the ring. Cut him off. Luger is dominating. Body slam outside the ring. Whenever Orton has a bad match, I think about the comments he made about indie wrestling. I mean, he has a point about how they do too many dives and too many moves and stuff, but it's like Orton's not exactly, I mean, I've seen him stink up the joint, so it's like I wouldn't criticize too heavily if I were him. Bryan with a roll up. 1, 2. No. And power slam by Luger. Roll up by Bryan, but he's in the ropes. He's in the ropes. Nope, nope. I would bet your MVP for WrestleMania 34 would be Undertaker for squashing Cena. That wouldn't make him MVP, but it would be like, wow, that went about as well as I would ever expect it to.
Take a look at the eyes of Lex Luger.
Oh, Bryan dodges him. Dodges the clothesline. Flying clothesline by Bryan. Come on, Bryan. Back body drop by Flying Bryan. Flying cross body, but the referee went down. 1, 2, 3. Oh, bad luck for Bryan. Oh, too bad. Bad timing. Luger, no. And another roll-up by Bryan, but there's no referee. Drop kick by Flying Bryan. Luger's got a steel chair. Oh, just cracked it over Bryan's head. Oh, now the referee's up. Boo! Luger gets the win. Cheap victory by Luger. Dickbag. Douche canoe. Cheater. Oh, but he's not done yet. He's going to do some more damage with that chair.
Luger knows that he was pinned twice. He knows it. And he's almost in a very cold, deadly cold, maniacal.
And he is, oh, another crack of the chair over Bryan. God, Bryan's acting like he's still out. It's almost like getting hit in the face with a metal object hurts or something. Torture rack. Oh my God. Luger's killing him. Here comes Sting. Sting be like, knock that shit off, you son of a bitch. Sting! I love that Sting wears a suit and still puts face paint on, even though he's not wrestling tonight and in a suit. He puts face paint, because of course he does. It's like a luchador wearing a suit and always wearing the mask. Fuck you, Luger. You suck. Oh, Sting's following up the aisleway, though. Sting fights him anyway. Gets a shot in.
Well, here you see the final confrontation, and this is it, the insult by Sting and Lex Luger suddenly realizing that maybe the last of his friends has suddenly disappeared.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, Terry Funk, Ric Flair, the final chapter with I Quit rules. Don't go away.
Okay, guys, here we go. Funk versus Flair. I Quit match. It's coming. The main event to New York Knockout. One of the greatest matches in the careers of both men. One of the greatest matches in Clash of Champions history. So, really excited to check this out. Once again, I've seen the match before, but, you know.
Right now, let's hear these pre-recorded comments from the heavyweight champion of the world.
The next time you see me, Terry Funk, it'll be live in Troy, New York, in front of thousands of people who have come up to see the National Wrestling Alliance live and in color, the premier athlete in what we know to be the greatest sport in the world are here tonight in Troy, New York. It is all
Woo!
Now, Terry Funk, we know what's coming now. It's called I Quit. That means two great champions are going to walk that aisle tonight.
Walk that aisle.
Get in that ring with one thing in mind, and that is to make the other say, I quit on a nationally televised program before millions of people.
FT Legend, welcome to the stream. How you doing, man?
Disgraceful. That's the end. Think about it. National television. I quit. Well, I look at it like this.
What did you think of Black Rain? Black Rain, for those of you who don't know, Black Rain was a gimmick that Dustin Rhodes had in TNA. It was there was a nugget of a good idea there, but it just came off like a bad hybrid of Goldust and Mankind. It didn't quite work. What was your favorite point of Sting's career? There are two, either early 90s Sting or like late 90s Sting when he was doing the Crow gimmick. So either one of those. Here comes Tara. He's the Funker, damn it. This sounds like a knockoff of the music from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Terry Funk. Okay, in the build-up to this feud, we have seen Terry Funk pile drive Ric Flair through a table, breaking his neck. We've also seen Terry Funk try to smother Ric Flair with a plastic bag, which I maintain one of the darkest things I've ever seen in pro wrestling. Like, straight up, that is straight up attempted murder. Like, you can't even, like, holy shit. I'm Terry Funk. I'm here to wrestle, kick ass, and call Bret Hart's mother a whore. Next up, Ric Flair versus Terry Funk.
And ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Charlotte, North Carolina, he weighs 245 pounds, and for the 6th time, he is the world.
What was your first hard-hitting death in wrestling? Oh, God. Andre the Giant. When he passed away, I was really upset. And that was like, what, 93? I remember hearing about that. I was super upset about that. Da-da! God, I would be scared to death of tripping on that staircase. Like, that looks like a disaster. That looks like a shockmaster waiting to happen right there. Woo! The ladies he's with don't look half bad. Yeah, they look pretty nice. Woo! Yeah, attempted murder in wrestling has no consequences. Ever. Never, ever. It happens a lot. Nice fireworks display there. Get WCW get a little bit more of a budget at the end of 1989. Bit more of that Turner money.
I'll tell you something. He got the great ovation coming in here. And, you know, the thing about Flair and Funk, as you mentioned, it's the end of a dynasty for one of the other two, Gordon. Right. But I think also the fact that Terry Funk said if Ric Flair could make him say, I quit, then he would walk or crawl or whatever he had to do and shake Flair's hand and say he's the better man. Flair said to me, and on national TV, if that happens, if I lose, I'll shake his hand. So there's a lot of pride.
I don't know if I could shake the hand of a guy that tried to murder me. Like, I don't know if I could do that.
Gary Hart, the interview we had earlier.
Welcome back, Joseph Strickland. Welcome back to the stream. Call me crazy, but WWE's production makes up for the lack of fireworks. WWE production makes up for the lack of fireworks. There's no need for it today. Well, WWE has a tendency to overproduce everything to the point that it feels like factory made. Like assembly line production almost.
I don't see how a match with these kind of stipulations can go very long, Gordon.
Whoa! Funk, yeah, Flair just chopped Funk and he flipped outside the ring. And then Funk went to go yell at a fan and he tripped. Oops.
I was going to say, interesting thing about the interview I had with Gary Hart is he said that told Funk, and not only were you representing Texas, which is a true statement, but you're representing me, and I don't want you to give up under any.
Oh, another chop by Flair. Another chop. Chop the fuck out of him, Flair. One corner, the other corner, chop, and Funk goes down. Yeah, long hair Flair, like it just looks, it adds to the look so much. That poofy, like, again, there's no other thing I can call it, like George Washington hair. It just looks, it looks awesome.
Fists are doubled in this phenomenal crowd here in Troy, New York. And we are broadcasting live.
You don't want to get into a striking match with Terry Flair. I would think he'd have the advantage there. Side headlock. Down goes Flair. Oh, but Flair takes the leg down. And now he's choking Funk. There you go. Oh, thumb to the eye. No DQs. He can do that.
Right over our desk here. And Funk is punishing his man as well. Big right hand by Funk, or left hand, I should say.
Oh, God. Oh, is he going to pile drive him through the table again?
Almost like it's dropped in here. I'm moving back as far as I
Dangerously close to that announce table, guys. We can see a repeat.
the intensity and the fury of these two men. And they're outside the ring. Big left hand there by Terry Funk. Right on the forehead of Nature Boy Ric Flair. Flair on the apron here on our side of the ring. Funk has him
hair, brings him back up vertically on the apron.
Shot by Funk.
Retaliation.
Headbutt by Funk.
Down goes Flair. Now Flair been punished for it. And Flair still on that ring apron outside. Funk trying to drag him back through.
Oh, God, these shots sound nasty.
Funk is standing there. He's taking it like a man. I'll tell you that. Big left. And
Flair goes down again.
Stay on him.
Elbow by Funk.
Have the referee pick up the wireless microphone because neither man really in a position yet to say, I quit.
Now he tosses Flair outside the ring.
Quick counter shot sitting straight down on the action. Remember, this match has no count out.
All right, Movie Fan of 4, sorry you got to leave. Okay, have a good night, man.
Pinfall is absolutely meaningless.
They're brawling up the aisleway now.
Burst into that railing. Pump working hard. Left big right.
Shot after shot.
He's got his hands heavily.
Flair getting the crap beat out of him.
Texas Death Match, which his father made famous. Texas match. He is ready.
Oh, punches Flair with the microphone. Trading shots and chops, and this is a dirty brawl we got right here.
His dad, of course, will continue the Texas Death Match. Tremendous family pride. And the crowd is now really picking up the intensity of this match. Funk again, that heavily taped left hand. It's really doing its damage on Nature Boy Ric Flair. This match is really not very symbolic of the NWA style as far as the wrestling. We say we bring me that microphone. This is a tier 6 brawl.
Bring me that microphone.
Here Funk yelling for that microphone. Funk trying to make Flair give it up. You talk about taking it right inside of the ring. We're doing it here.
You egg sucking dog. Oh my God, Terry, I love you so. Oh wait, Flair! Flair just countered with an inverted atomic drop. Oh my God, that was so awesome. I love Funk so much. Oh, swinging neck breaker by Funk. Very nice. Who should get more credit for putting wrestling on the map, Vince or Hogan? I'd say Vince, because he's the one that had the vision to go national and do what he did. Slaps. Just slapping. He's paintbrushing Flair. Flair's choking now. Look at that. Now he's chopping. Chop that redwood. And Funk trips outside the ring. God damn. This looks like a fucking fight. This is great. I haven't seen this match in years, so this is like, it's almost like seeing it for the first time again. I love that, watching it like a really great match and then not watching it for a few years and then watching it again, because it's like, it becomes new again. It's fantastic. Is Funk still working? He's in his 70s. Is Funk still having matches? Into this guardrail. All right. Now Flair's asking for the mic.
He's trying to choke him in the sand. Gary Hart
landing iron for protection, but Flair being distracted.
Oh, Flair took his eye off the prize.
It shows you.
Got distracted by Gary Hart, allowing Terry Funk to gain the advantage.
It's an inherent trait. It's bred in this man.
I will fade away and classify myself as obsolete.
Never laced up their boots.
I mean, that's cool, I guess. Only in Broken Hardy Lane could the word obsolete be a compliment to yourself.
The family name, the Funk name is on the line here.
You remember the red flare? You remember your neck? Don't you want to quit before I hurt you?
Call him an egg-sucking dog again.
Novel match. Got cameras taking you inside the ring where you can actually hear the
Pile driver? Ooh, is he going to pile drive Flair?
You want to quit? You won't say it.
He's working indie shows, I think in the New York and New Jersey area. Definitely not retired. Jesus Christ, Terry. Good God.
Funk's trying to position Flair for a pile driver. Flair trying to extend his legs away to keep that base from not being able to be elevated. He broke his neck.
He got it. Pile driver position. Pile driver on Flair. Leg drop by Terry. You know, this would be fun to look back on, like who performed on both Saturday Night's Main Event and Clash of Champions. Terry's got this interesting distinction. He worked both Hogan and Flair on their respective shows, which is like, that's a pretty big, got to be in a world title match with both of them. That's pretty interesting distinction. I think he might be the only one to have a world title match on both Saturday Night's Main Event. And well, no, because Hogan, I think Hogan did obviously, but there aren't many others. And he's got to pile drive him on the concrete floor. Good Lord. No, come on. Oh!
Hurt very badly here. Funk dropped him right on the floor. We're on a hockey rink. There's ice underneath that particle board. We may be seeing the end of a dynasty right here. This is Funk's kind of match. He is dominating it at this point in time.
He's still hitting Flair with the microphone. What a dick.
He cannot use the microphone for a weapon. I know it's no disqualification, but he's got to have a little bit of compassion. I guess not. No, not in this case. Not when your entire career, and yes, indeed, perhaps your active life at stake here. Well, I'll tell you something. This is a physical situation. Coming to you from Troy, New York, and the Troy, Albany, Schenectady area. This is where Mike Tyson got his last 2 parking tickets.
It's an odd call, JR, but okay.
The night that Ric Flair or Terry Funk said, I quit. After tonight. This transcends, very frankly, anything I've ever seen in the sport. It really does. You have someone with so much heritage like Terry Funk.
Oh, he just slammed Rick on top of the table.
Funk's taking that table now around.
What is Funk going to do with that table?
This table, remember, it's no disqualification. Flair was slammed on it. The action around ringside here is simply like a car collision. There, desperation moves out of him.
Flair trying to fight back. Oh! He just rammed Funk face first into the underside of the table. Damn. That sounded nasty. Oh my God. Flair fighting back with a force. Oh, and Funk goes into the table. Slides across it like a water slide. Now Flair is going after Gary Hart. Nasty stuff here. I love it. Oof. With the microphone, we can hear the referee like reprimanding Gary Hart. It's really funny. Oh, crotch first into the guardrail. Flair has no mercy. Chop. What more can they do to each other? Jesus. Big knee drop by Flair, yup.
I'll tell you something, he's not one of my favorite guys, but I gotta tip my hat to him. A lot of people would be hanging it up, but he's back in there fighting.
Inverted atomic drop by Flair. Setting him up for the figure four. Yep. Oh no, he's gonna start working over the leg. Yep. Have fun with that, Terry.
Another chop. Kicking the knee, working on that leg. Chopping him, trying to chop him down. Straight right hand, Funk stays up. He stays up. He stays up.
Funk won't go down. And, oh, Terry Funk just crumpled over, grabbing the leg. Figure four time. He's trying to run, but Flair won't let him. Nowhere to go, bitch. Uh-oh. Oh, he's carrying Funk back. That's great. Knee breaker right at close to the ring. I'm a fan of Christian rock and I am not religious. Is that weird or what? I mean, I guess you like what you like. I won't question it. Suplex by Rick. And yes. I tried to get the figure four, but Funk won't let him. He's almost got it. Oh, Funk goes to the eyes.
Yes, sir. The nature boy may not be saying that. I'll tell you something. The thing that we may be saying tonight.
Oh my God! Wow! I forgot about that spot. Flair just reversed a suplex onto the apron on Funk, and that looked like that was a bad landing. Chop. Chop. Hey, you want to play a fun drinking game? Watch a Ric Flair match and then take a shot every time he does a chop. And here we go. Figure four. He's got it. Figure 4 time, baby. Oh, God. Funk is getting desperate.
He's got that thing locked completely in. He's got it deep in there. Gordon, have you ever seen anybody like this long in a figure 4?
It can be reversed. It can be reversed.
He quit! An I Quit match with a clean finish. Imagine that insanity. Wild match. Very wild match. Gary Hart is not happy. So you're telling me I wouldn't make it through a Flair match? Not with that drinking game, no. You would not. No human being would. Andre the Giant couldn't make it through that drinking game.
I promise the people I want to. I'm going to shake his hand like I said. You're a hell of a man, Ric Flair. No better than me. Hear me?
Shake hands and the feud is over. Gary Hart just cheap shotted Terry Funk. Well, now he's going to get his ass kicked by Flair. Have fun with that, manager boy. Boom. The Great Muta. The Japanese. Yeah, just the Japanese. They attacked Flair. Just in general, just the Japanese. Stinger, he's playing Hero Man tonight. Runs in to help Bryan, runs in to help Flair and Funk. Stinger splash! Scorpion Deathlock on the Dragon Master, figure 4 on Great Muta. Now there's Lex Luger. Jesus, this is wild. A lot of wild brawls on this show. Oh, steel chair to the back of Sting. Flair goes after Luger. This is insane. God, I kind of want to watch Starrcade 89 now. The baby faces did not win this one.
Somehow we've got to get this ring area clear.
Oh, the crowd is getting closer and closer to the ring. They are standing. I'm glad we got security here. Sting is hurt.
By God! The Japanese. Those damn Japanese. How dare they? It's not really racist. It's just playful 80s racism. It's fine. There's no malice behind it.
Especially Sting. Flair, who won the Wrestler of the Decade award. Sting, the most popular wrestler in the NWA.
Yeah, there's the sign of his courage. A blue steel folding chair.
And the heels stand tall. Wild ending, great match. Very good Clash of Champions overall. Very exciting show. Oh my God, Luger's even destroying the trophy. The trophies that Sting and Flair were presented with. Japanese. I can't get over that. That's so funny. Oh, Flair and Sting are holding hands. It's like, oh, you're my buddy. Until I turn on you.
I hope that we get another look at this thing. They're bringing the paramedics down. I'll tell you something. Luger picked his chance. He saw Flair and Sting in vulnerable situations. He picked out Sting. That's his first object. He nailed him with a chair.
Here you see the situation. Buddha caught in the figure four. Sting had him, his man in the Cobra. And then suddenly, the Scorpion rather, suddenly Luger, again brandishing that blue steel chair, brings it down across the base of the skull and the upper back. And now Flair suddenly going berserk and taking after Luger. Now, the thing that gets me, Jeff, is that Luger then picked the most immature way in the world to get even by smashing this dude's.
Very immature, very cowardly. From the pompous U.S. champion, destroying the trophies. And now the Japanese.
The Japanese. Jim, stop calling them the Japanese. They have names. They're individual people.
He's done his damage. Sting unconscious. Harry Funk.
Might as well just say the people of color. The minorities. The minorities. My God. I hate the term people of color, by the way. It sounds like an outdated term from the 20s. I don't know why people insist on using it today, but whatever.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got about a minute or so left.
Just a minute? Oh, no.
We have to salute Terry Funk. His courage and his integrity. He did what he said he would do. This whole situation next December 13th most interesting.
Yeah, the Iron Man, it's all coming down, and what it ends up is these all four of them are going to have to wrestle against each other. I have to concur with you in regards to Terry Funk. The Funk family name has been upheld. He is a man of his word, but I'll tell you what, words cannot describe the courage of Ric Flair.
Ladies and gentlemen, a full report Friday night for Gordon Soley. I'm Jim Ross. So long from Troy and New York.
Bye-bye, Jim and Soley. Okay, so that concludes the 9th Clash of Champions, the final one of 1989. New York Knockout. Very good show, action-packed. Featured a lot of good guys, had some big angles, and had a great main event. Good double main event, actually. The U.S. title match was really good as well. So, yeah, very good episode of the Clash of Champions, I'd say. Very enjoyable. All righty. All right, so how y'all feeling? We're up late tonight, so y'all feeling up for Saturday night's main event? Because I'm gonna do it. Gonna watch it. This music is so catchy. Okay. For a guy that didn't grow up watching WCW, I was glad Sting made his way to WWE, even though it didn't go the way any of us wanted. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Okay, we are at... I want to make sure we're in the right place. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick break, going to run to the bathroom, get something to drink, and I'll be right back. When we come back, we will be watching Saturday night's main event number 10, the 10th anniversary, I guess, because, you know, Vince and wrestling promoters apparently don't know how the word anniversary works, but, yeah, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back, and then we'll go ahead and watch that up and then close out for tonight, so stay tuned for more. Hello, everyone. I am back. Okay, guys, we are going to close out the stream with Saturday night's main event number 10. Now, this show is interesting because this took place right before WrestleMania 3. Now, what was the major feud heading into WrestleMania 3? Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. So, this show was the first time that Hulk Hogan and Andre faced each other in the ring. That they even touched each other following Andre's turn at Piper's Pit. They were both in a battle royal together on this show. So a little teaser for Hogan and Andre in this one, as well as setting up some final build-ups heading into WrestleMania 3. So let's go ahead and get started. Saturday night's main event. March 14th, 1987. Randy Savage defends the Intercontinental title against George Steele. I feel like we've seen that match already on the Saturday night's main event quite a few times. Anyway, Randy Savage defends the Intercontinental title against George Steele. A battle royal featuring Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, and more. This is going to be fun.
In the 20-man over-the-top battle royal, I have no friends. The most dangerous match in professional wrestling means each man out for himself. My main objective, to get even with Andre the Giant. When you tore my shirt, when you tore the cross off my chest, when you tore the heart and souls out all those little Hulksters, that was the reason I got in this 20-man battle royal. You broke the rules, man. Now there are no rules. Survive with a fittest, bodies flying out over the top everywhere. My eyes, Andre the Giant. Main concern will be focused on your 7'5", 500-pound, big, nasty body. And sooner or later in the battle royal, it's going to be just you and me.
I love Hogan promos. People make fun of Hogan promos. I love Hogan promos.
But that's all you're going to have on him. He's going to have his eyes on you and his hands all over you. Because this is the greatest athlete in the history of sports.
I love Andre the Giant's.
I've ever been the prize in the match. If Randy wins, I stay with him. And if George wins, he gets the title and he gets to keep me. Tonight is definitely the scariest night of my life.
Poor Liz. One of the few times she gets to cut a promo and she looked like a scared animal.
With a world tag team titles at stake. It may be our first time, but it'll be their last time.
It's a fact, man.
Oh, there's Jake and Damian.
Over a month, so he's ready. Why don't you join us? A special invitation from the snake. Watch us feast on 400 pounds of white meat, known as King Kong.
I love the pre-show promos. Those are great. I was gonna say something until I got cut off. Oh yeah, Andre, his heel facial expressions are so great because he just looks like he doesn't give a shit. Like he's just like, fuck you, I'm Andre the Giant. I do whatever I want. All right. And the show begins. Joe Louis Arena. Bit of a common venue for the WWF over the years, WWE. Jesus. We are Pro Wrestling. Hey, welcome to the stream, man. We just started Saturday night's main event. Just got back in. Were you in for Clash of Champions?
But now, indeed, I'm sure there's been a parting of the ways of their relationship. As a matter of fact, right now, Mean Gene Okerlund is standing by with a Hulkster. All right, Hulk Hogan, this is it tonight. It's going to be the first confrontation for you with Andre the Giant, albeit with 18 others in a 20-man over the top rope battle royal.
Well, you know, there's a lot of those people out there, man, that say, why are you doing it? Why don't you wait for a one-on-one confrontation with Andre the Giant? Well, me and Gene, those few people who say that, they aren't Hulkamaniacs, man. The Hulkamaniacs know I like living in the danger zone, man. They know.
Danger zone.
Tore the heart.
Lana, call Kenny Loggins because you're in the danger zone.
Anytime, anywhere, anytime.
By the way, Archer Danger Island, I've watched the first 2 episodes. It's not good. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, we all want a resolution to the Archer coma storyline, and they're going out of their way to not give it to us. And what they're giving us instead is not good. So it's like we have this hanging story thread that we all want resolution to, and they're avoiding a resolution to it. And what they're giving us in its place isn't even good. So it's just, it's not working in any way, sense, or form.
In the best physical and mental condition of his life, and obviously is looking forward to his participation in the Battle Royal.
Mental Pete, you're telling me? I'd say he's a mental moron.
Joe Louis Arena went to the last WWE show there last summer. Yeah. What show was that? Was that a house show or televised event? This is the 3rd match they've had on Saturday night's main event. Savage and George Steele. And they had a WrestleMania match. Yeah, I'll be honest. The one they had on the last Saturday night's main event 9 was probably their best one because it was insane. SmackDown Live event. Okay. Oh, it was a house show. Okay. It was a SmackDown Live house show. Okay.
And we'll find out who cares for her the most because Macho Man and George the Animal Steel, the winner gets Elizabeth.
What a prize! Standing by right now, Mean Gene Okerlund. All right, thank you, Vince. With me right now, the Intercontinental Champion of the World and his manager, the lovely Elizabeth. Elizabeth, we've all seen what happened in a recent main event. Are you fearful that George the Animal Steel might try something tonight?
I am scared.
You talking to her right there. And I'm the Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah. I'm psyched up.
He's psyched up? Don't you mean psycho? God, Savage is putting everything on the line. The belt, his manager. Good God.
George the Animal Steel. Hit him 1, 2, 3. It'll hurt him real bad. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Guess what? Let's go on down that aisle right now.
No, wait a minute. Not tonight. Elizabeth enters last. Those are the rules, Randy Savvy.
Yeah, rules are made to be broken, and your neck could be broken. You understand that?
He just threatened Gene Okerlund? Jesus. Like, Elizabeth, whenever Savage was a heel and treating her like shit, Elizabeth always had the look on her face like an embarrassed wife. He's like, I know, I got to take him with me everywhere I go. I know. This is what I chose. This is the life I chose. I plan on going to Raw in Buffalo, New York, the night after Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I'm interested to see the fallout of that show. Yeah, I haven't kept track of, like, the live events that they're running around this area. I don't. Like, when's the next time they're in D.C.? Oh, now Gene's hitting on Elizabeth.
Well, that happens. Ruling George, please.
Manager!
That's right, George. He is the manager of the Intercontinental Champion, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Manager! Georgian?
Manager.
Well, not yet, George. We're going to have to win the match tonight. You understand that?
Win? Elizabeth. Bye-bye.
How is Elizabeth, like, not... Okay, both Gene and Elizabeth, how are they not cracking?
Real comfortable situation to be in. Let's go back to you, Vince.
No, I wouldn't think so. Not a comfortable situation to be in at all, and certainly that has sparked the career of Elizabeth as manager of the Macho Man.
There's George. Did George Steele... Okay, this is one of those weird, like, pre-tape things. That interview segment was clearly pre-taped, and he wasn't wearing a shirt. He comes out for his entrance, and he's wearing a shirt. Which means in the span of 2 seconds, he just randomly decided to put a shirt on.
However,
they keep cutting back to Liz and Okerlund.
We'll head to the ring with you tonight. Best of luck. All right, a very brave and a very lovely woman headed to a uncertain fate. Miss Elizabeth. Let's go back to you, Vince.
I mean, really, it's like a battle of, okay, who do you end up with, a psychopath or a psychopath? I mean, there's, at the end of the day, does your day really change that much?
Imagine the poster they would make, Jesse. The animal.
Oh, they got a nice little chair for her. It looks like Elizabeth is sitting on like a nice little like a lifeguard chair. Is that really necessary? Can you just... Savage with a preemptive attack. Oh, here's Ricky Steamboat. Why are they playing Steamboat's music? Okay. They clearly like put this over the segment, and I don't think there's supposed to be music. That's weird. SmackDown this Tuesday in Baltimore. Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not driving all the way out to Baltimore. I mean, all the way. It's like a half-hour drive for me, but it's like, eh. Oh, George Steele. Steamboat makes sure Savage doesn't get away, and now George Steele has a fair fight on his hands. Did Vince just say vintage? Into the corner goes Savage. Savage almost hit the ref. Then he'd be DQ'd and he loses his manager. Keep the title. Oh, head first into the corner again. And here comes George. He's gotta have his snack. Knee to the back. Body slam on George Steele. Savage going to the top. Double axe handle. Got it. Vince was Michael Cole before Michael Cole. So in a way, yeah, he kind of was. I mean, Michael Cole's style of announcing is closer to Vince's than he is anybody else. So he just does it worse.
The beauty and the beast. That's what's going to triumph here in this matchup. George, the animals to you right now. Look at that brawl across the chest. I tend to disagree. I think the brains will prevail, not brawn.
Oh, God! George Steele's biting his arm. That's an interesting way to block a clothesline. And now he's going to eat another turnbuckle pad, because why not? God, the turnbuckle stuffing looks like popcorn. Looks tasty. And he throws some of the stuffing at the referee. No, she's not. She's scared to death, Vince. She's not willingly going anywhere. Oh, now Macho has the chair and just drapes it over the back of George Steele. Here we go. The referee is not going to disqualify him for that. Okay. Okay. Savage wins by countout. George Steele is not happy. Up and over, Savage goes, but he wins the title, keeps the title, keeps his manager. Yeah, not your belt, George. No, he's not, Vince. God damn, Vince is so biased. The rightful Intercontinental Champion. Bullshit, he is. I agree with Jesse. Oh, he's got an Elizabeth poster.
Andre Ortov, Andre Hercules, Andre Volkov, Andre.
I mean, Hogan, that's but focus there, aren't you? Well, you got some tunnel vision there. That is a lot of names. And the big graphic is blocking all of them. Okay, I see Sika, I see Butch Reed, see Haku, I see Hillbilly Jim. Looks like Outlaw Ron Bass. That's Leaping Lanny Poffo. That's Paul Orndorff. Just had the biggest match of his career on the previous episode of Saturday Night's Main Event that we watched last week. Billy Jack Haynes. Wearing a very stupid hat. The Mighty Hercules. I feel like I'm the only Hercules mark on the planet. I always liked him.
With me right now, Bobby the Brain Heenan and the biggest man in professional sports, Andre the Giant, the king of the Battle Royals. As a matter of fact, he's won more Battle Royals than any other man. And Andre, apparently you've got a
How many? Do you have an exact number?
Bobby Heenan. Now, we need insurance policy. I'm going to be as close to that ring as I possibly can be, because I'm going to watch this man here, the greatest athlete in sports today, throw Hulk Hogan on that top rope to the cement floor. For 3 years, Hogan, you have hid from this man. Didn't once offer him a championship match. Now tonight, I know your strategy. You're going to try to hide behind all those other wrestlers. If he has to walk over every wrestler, throw everyone out single-handedly, he's going to get his hands on you tonight. All right, what about it, Andre?
Hogan, I want you.
All right, Andre.
I want you. I want you, Balboa. I want you.
In professional wrestling, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Vince, let's go back to you.
How come that little creep never throws it for me? And I'll tell you what, Bobby Heenan don't have the biggest ego in professional wrestling.
Andre won more than one and less than 1 million. Fair stat. I see Demolition in there. I don't know if that's Moondog. Is that the Moondog Spot version, or is that the Barry Darso version of Smash? I can't really tell from this vantage point. That's Bill Eadie, definitely. Honky Tonk Man, the Killer Bees. Those shirts are terrible. Okay, I've never seen Killer Bee merch before, but those shirts are awful. I imagine they didn't sell. There's Andre.
How Andre would conduct himself in the company of children, his kindness to them, how he would show his sense of fair play in as well as out of the ring, his enormous pride in himself and for mankind. But I'll tell you, boy, has Andre taken a detour. And don't just blame Andre's conduct on Bobby the Brain Heenan, because down deep, Andre had to harbor resentment. He had to harbor jealousy.
Jealousy. He's a sinner. He's going to hell.
We've all been thrown to the mat by Andre's recent actions. Bring me the cryo dolphin, man. It breaks my heart.
I think that's Darso. I think that's Barry Darso in there. And here's Hulk Hogan. There's Volkov. Crashing down and it hurts inside. I'm a giant lunatic who rants and raves. I've got creative control and I abuse it greatly, but you never really noticed until WCW. I am a real American. I kid, obviously. Hogan Andre for the first time since Andre's heel turn. It's a battle royal, but God, the crowd's going nuts. Oh, Orndorff cuts off Hogan. I see Blackjack Mulligan in there. So yeah, Hercules and Orndorff are beating on Hogan. Honky Tonk getting his shots in. Out goes Honky Tonk. Hogan threw him out. And Andre just threw Sika out. God, Blackjack Mulligan looks so, like, out of shape. Andre has Tama Tonga choking him, and Haku goes after future tag champs together, Haku and Andre. Andre just beating the crap out of Hillbilly Jim and Blackjack Mulligan. Haku goes out. Lanny Poffo gets headbutted by Andre. And he busted him open. Ooh. That might have been Hardway. Andre throwing people out left and right. Hogan's in trouble. He's got like 5 people teaming up on him. Andre is just he just swatted one of the bees. Oh, there's Coco Beware. Didn't notice him in there. Oh, God, Lanny. Ooh. Hogan going after Hercules, one of his old... Oh, God, that looks nasty. Like, Lanny had a bad night. That does not look good.
And again, everyone will take notice that this is the new Andre. New Andre. This is not a new Andre. This is an Andre that's in there to win.
Hogan getting double teamed by... Oh, and Hogan just threw out Ron Bass.
Let me say something. Every one of these wrestlers knows when they get into a battle royal, there is a good chance for entry. They get in there knowing that that's the chance that they take. But they don't expect to be punished before they're thrown over the top rope by the likes of Andre the Giant. Here, action's back.
Look, Andre did a completely legal move on Lanny Poffo. He just hurt him.
Why wouldn't you punish someone you think so?
And Andre just tossed out Mulligan. Headbutt on Axe. They're keeping Hogan and Andre apart. Hogan tosses out Volkov. There we go. Hogan and Orndorff still going at it. Reliving their old rivalry. Andre just tosses out a Killer Bee. Andre just knocks down Coco. Andre's killing everybody.
Look at Andre punishing Coco Beware. Give me a break. That's a size 24 foot right there. Andre the Jackal wide. What is going over the top? Don't try to push the man's windpipe. Win. That's why. Hercules with an uppercut on the Hulkster. Look at this. The Heenan family rolling the work on Hulk Hogan.
God, Hillbilly Jim's a big dude, and Andre makes him look small by comparison. Hercules and Orndorff still trying to work over Hogan. Oh, Billy Jack Haynes and Hillbilly Jim just got their heads rammed by Andre. Oh, Hogan just got thrown into Andre. There we go. That's the money. Hogan gets a shot in. Coco, get out of the way, Coco. Hogan just got, he just got cut off by Smash and Orndorff. Now Hulkster. He just tossed out Orndorff. And Andre grabbed Hogan. Headbutt. And Hogan is out. What? He just tossed out Hogan like he was nothing. Oh, to answer your earlier question, Joseph Strickland, yes, this is the one where Andre eliminates Hogan. Absolutely.
Look at the way Andre responds.
Andre's fuck you face is just terrific. I love it. It's like, I don't give a shit.
No, I disagree. He's saying, you're nothing, champion. You're nothing. You finally met your match. You met the man that will beat. Hulkster wants to get back from the ring and get back in there with Andre. We rush you back by the officials. The final round continues. Final round continues.
Yeah, that was just enough of a preview for WrestleMania 3. Andre is still taunting Hogan, and Coco tried to attack him, and Andre just, like, elbowed him without turning around. It's like, fuck you, get out of my way. I got some taunting to do, you son of a bitch. The other B goes after Andre, and out goes the B. Hillbilly Jim, and, this is where, like, Demolition, Hercules, Coco, and Hillbilly Jim, they're all just trying to get rid of Andre.
I'm not so sure even 8 men can get him out. Andre battling them off. Andre trying to hang on. Andre, the key to the
They're rolling it. They're rolling it. Momentum.
There he goes. Andre's out. Took like 8 people to do it. Yeah, maybe it's just me. I would have had Andre win the Battle Royal, but that's just me. I think it would have been more impactful if the guy that threw Hogan out ultimately won the Battle Royal.
Look at that. Is that a mean giant? Is he hot? Look at him. Look. Yeah, but he accomplished and showed the world something. He showed the world that he can throw Hogan. Look at this. Hillbilly Jim trying to hang on and Smash throws him out.
Smash eliminates Hillbilly Jim. You know, it's funny. They did not replace the turnbuckle pads from the George Steele match because there's still like stuffing coming out of them and stuff. Okay, look at who's left. The last 5 are Smash, Hercules, Billy Jack Haynes, Coco Beware, and Butch Reed. In a battle royal that included Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Butch Reed is out. Coco eliminated him. They would have a WrestleMania match. They worked each other at 3. Final 4. Hercules, Smash, Coco Beware, and Billy Jack Haynes. Billy Jack Haynes and Hercules were having a feud at this point over who had the best full Nelson. And they would have a match at WrestleMania 3. A good match. I thought they had a good match at WrestleMania 3. This just feels weird. It's just like, yeah, I feel like Andre should have won this thing. I think it would have made more sense. But, you know. And Coco goes out. Hercules tossed him out. Double clothesline by Smash and Herc. Yeah, you can tell here that Smash, Barry Darso, like, he didn't have the look fully down yet. He's still, like, new and trying to figure the gimmick out. He didn't have, like, the face paint wasn't quite right yet. You know.
Hercules is directing traffic in there. How diabolical. I can just measure the guy. All right. Off the road, Billy Jack. Oh, look at
Billy Jack knocks out Smash. Here we go. It's Billy Jack Haynes and Hercules. Another WrestleMania preview. Bobby Heenan up on the... Bye-bye, Billy Jerk. Hercules gets the win. Okay, the Battle Royal was won by Hercules Hernandez, the mighty Hercules.
I cannot believe that spectacular Battle Royal. Hercules coming up the winner, Andre the Giant. Your thoughts on it all?
I have nothing to say. It takes 8 whistles to get Andre the Giant out of the ring. It takes only 1 giant to get Hulk Hogan out of the ring.
Ooh, good point.
We did it. We won the Battle Royal. We did it, Andre. I told you I was going to do it. I told you I was going to do it, and we did. You know what amazed me out there? Like he said, 8 of the toughest wrestlers on earth to get him out of the ring. One giant took Hulk Hogan through that 300 and some pound big pile of blind garbage out of that ring to the cement floor. The whole match, from the start of the match to the time he was ejected, Hogan hit. And you hit well, dummy. You hit behind every tough man in the world. But he walked through them all. He waded through that mass of humanity, and when he put his hands on your busted up carcass, you went out of there, your ETA, with about 4 seconds. And like I said, this man, 15 years undefeated, is going to remain undefeated. And by God, he is going to become the next heavyweight champion of the world.
I love you, Bobby Heenan. You are magical. You're terrific. I love you. That was awesome.
All right, well, let's go back now and take a look at the replay, Jesse. Here's the replay. There you see Hogan eliminating Mr. Wonderful Paul Lawler,
Yep.
but he left himself open. And there's the big man, Andre the Giant, grabbing Hogan.
Took 8 men to throw at Andre, but only 1 giant to throw out Hogan.
There it is. The damage is done.
It's almost like they're trying to paint WrestleMania 3 as a mismatch.
Simple this is for the Giant. Up and over, crashing to the apron, to the floor, and the big man eliminates the champion of the world. I would have never guessed. So easy, you must have been watching a different battle royal than I was.
Okay, I love the wrestler like logos.
It was something else.
They just showed Jake Roberts and King Kong Bundy's. Bundy sucks. And Jake's isn't much better. He would get a better one down the road, but
I'll tell you something.
so yeah, those need a little work.
Found a real point in King Kong Bundy. But I'll tell you something. Davey and I have timed his cycle where he's really hungry. And he's really hungry tonight, Mean Gene. We're ready for Bundy. It's going to be a little bit different. I like being different.
You know, Jake Roberts, what about that 400-plus pounds of King Kong Bundy? He could leave Damian feeling a little flat, so to speak.
You know better than that, Gene. Damien and I will always be on top. That's the way it is. That's the way it always will be. And for now, it's time for Damien and I to satisfy our hunger.
Ooh. Jake Roberts, now a babyface at this point. He got to the point where it was like he had to turn face because he was just too cool. And that's why I think they did the Savage Jake match at Saturday Night's Main Event 8. They were kind of testing the waters to see if Jake could work as a face, and because he basically played the de facto face in that match, and he did.
Hogan Steamboat meets the Iron Sheik. Hulk Hogan's thoughts on Andre the Giant, the special tribute on Rowdy Roddy Piper, and the first title defense of the Hart Foundation.
It's my first time. Is it your first time? It's my first time. Is it your first time? It's our first time.
First time? Okay. that was weird. Yeah, that Bundy logo is terrible. God. All right, how is Jake going to match up with King Kong Bundy? Let's see.
King Kong Bundy, and that's what Bundy's going to do. He's going to use power moves. Jake goes in for a whole Bundy hammer. Damien looking on perhaps through the bag. You never know with those snake eyes. Back to the corner, Jake the Snake. Bundy misses with the right. Bundy a little bit slow. And you see him move. Once he realized he was over there almost on top of Damien, well, we showed one thing. Bundy has no love for snakes, I guess. Definitely.
I mean, why is everyone so afraid of snakes? Snakes are awesome. I love snakes. They kill mice, and I hate mice. They're my favorite animals. Fucking love snakes. They're doing God's work. Off to the ropes. Jake holds on. Bundy is getting frustrated.
I think you have to respect the ability to take the Snake. Roberts considered one of the, what's he say? Calm down, cool down. Bobby Heenan was a moment ago. Oh, yeah, Bobby Heenan. Bundy's a little frustrated in there. No, Jake's not standing straight up with him. Jake is a thinking man's wrestler. I think you concur. Oh, he's got to be. You better think if you're in there with a guy like Bundy. Jake the Snake locking up with King Kong Bundy.
I am a wrestling god. That was a good bit that JBL had there. I liked JBL as like a top tier heel. I thought he did really well for himself. I liked him as champion. I don't care. Come at me, bro.
Jake now over in the corner next to Damien. I think he's trying to sort of maneuver King Kong Bundy into that corner. Well, this is a dumb move on the part of the Snake. He's trying to match up strength on Bundy. Again.
Greco-Roman knuckle lock on Bundy. Yeah, that's not a good move, Jake. Shoulders to the mat. One. Nope.
Oh, yes, he could very well fit in that way. And oh, that kind of rock. He's not only got a match strength, he's got to push back up against that 450-some pounds of Bundy. Jake now, I
Jake getting some kicks in. There you go.
Snake back to his feet, maybe not for long, man. Hit first to the left. This is where Bundy has the advantage. He gets the snake hurt. If he gets the snake hurt, he can set him up with the big avalanche. And I really can't see the snake walking away from that one. No, I can't see anyone walking away from the avalanche. Bundy now. Softening up, Jake the snake.
Oh, front face lock by Bundy. FT Legend. Do you think it would be smart? Do you think it would be smart to bet on WWE since it's scripted and? Okay. Do you think it would be smart to bet on WWE since it's scripted and you can here in the UK? I don't know how you can do that because to me, if it's scripted, you shouldn't be able to bet on it. I mean, it's like because it's scripted. Like you can't like. How do you bet on that? It's like betting on the outcome of a movie. Seems ridiculous to me. Knee lift by Jake. Coming back. Getting some shots in. Come on, Jake. Boom. Down goes Bundy. Bundy grabs the leg. Did Bobby Heenan just grab the snake bag? Jake Roberts going after him. Jake got the snake bag back. Apparently, he didn't get counted out during the commercial break. Ooh. But who would you have betted on the Avengers dying if you could? Fair. I guess I wouldn't have been able to make a prediction on that, but I don't know. It seems silly to make bets on something that's predetermined. Like, because that could be easily rigged.
I think he's making a mistake here. He's giving Jake the Snake way too much time, but he knocks him down again. Again, you see Bundy is not the pressure he should be in my view. He should be right on top of Jake the Snake. He's giving Jake the Snake time to rest, and more importantly, think. Well, maybe he's getting a moral victory.
Oh, Bundy! Went right into the corner, missed. Now Jake trying to get himself together. Jake, here he comes, getting some shots in. Clothesline, and down goes Bundy. He just hit the referee. And body slam by Bundy. He's going to splash Jake. No, misses the elbow. Is this match over or not? DDT! There's Damien. And the referee just tripped Jake. God, he'll DDT you next, buddy. Vince is rooting for the snake to get at the referee. It's like, You are so biased towards the faces that you blatantly cheer for their, like, heinous actions.
Let's go back to the replay. Take another look. Well, here's the replay. The DDT is devastating here, but meaningless. Jake's already hit the referee. King Kong Bunny gets a cheap victory. Speaking of cheap victories,
Cheap victory? He attacked the referee, damn it. Vince! You're being stupid. Yeah, he got that cheap victory when the other guy decided to attack the referee for no reason. Okay, we're seeing a replay of the Hart Foundation winning the tag titles from the British Bulldogs, thanks to the shady actions of one Danny Davis.
Come on, get in here. I've covered the man for a count of 10, and then Davis enters all right, and blatantly watches the double team effort and single-handedly gives the title to the Hart Foundation. New champions, what can I say? All I can say is, right now we're going to take you back to Mean Gene Oakland, and he has with himself the Hart Foundation, the new tag team champions.
Well, gentlemen, we've all seen how you won the World Tag Team Championship belts. The consensus is that if it wouldn't have been for Danny Davis, the now suspended for life referee, the Bulldogs would still be tag team champions.
Tonight's our first title defense, and to avoid all problems at ringside, including bad referees and outside interference, we're instituting a new policy of an official observer at ringside. And tonight, our official observer is going to be
Danny Davis.
A new low even for your man. Excuse me, Danny Davis.
Danny Davis, the crooked referee.
My proven impartiality.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. This is an absolute assault on the integrity of the...
Yeah, I know people hate referees, but literally making a referee the villain, kind of interesting.
If you recall, Jesse, he lost the Intercontinental Championship to the Macho Man. Who do you think was the referee at the time? Danny Davis. You're sure about that? No question.
You know, the Hart Foundation, they are defending the tag titles against Dan Spivey and Tito Santana. This is going to lead into the build-up to WrestleMania 3, where it was the Hart Foundation and Danny Davis taking on the British Bulldogs and Tito Santana.
When this dragon steps into the ring tonight, he'll be breathing fire.
Yeah, that Ricky Steamboat graphic didn't look too great either. Not the best green screening they had there. Crossbody by Spivey. 1-2, no. Clothesline by Jim Neidhart. Reversal by Danny. Atomic drop. Tito gets a shot in. Leapfrog by Brett. And body slam by Tito. Tito Santana and Bret Hart. That's an interesting matchup. Two very good wrestlers, obviously. Why did Dan Spivey's tights look like the French flag? Is he French? Oh! Draped him over the top. Hart Foundation dominating.
reaching over and making a tag as the hitman steps through the ropes. Spivey almost helpless.
Does Jericho have the best career in wrestling history when you consider only Canadian wrestlers? I don't know. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, I've always been partial to Bret Hart, but Jericho had a much longer career, and you know, so. Oh, nice slingshot move right there. 1, 2, no.
Guts on the part of Spivey. What an agility move by the man the size of the anvil. Catapulted right over that rope on top of him. I was impressed. Spivey now being set up. No, he's not either. He's trying to fight out of the corner. Get out of the Hart's corner. They've already did their damage. His punches don't have nothing on him anymore. The hitman with a quick check roll from our vantage point. Here's the angle moments ago was distracting the referee. Oh, that's a smart move. He's got the counter for to break it. If you can cut off a man's air for a 4 count, that stops oxygen to the brain. Yeah, well, you remember that as the match progresses there. Certainly. Tito Santana coming in to try and help out. Flagrantly interfering. From behind, turn around, bro. Oh. Hey, the ref had to run Chico out of there. Chico's got no business in the ring. Tito, not the Chico. Look at that. A cover, 2 in. Spivey still kicked out. What?
Dan Spivey's getting his ass kicked right now.
Most guys would have already been pinned, but when you're going for the championship of the world, you seem to find that intestinal fortitude.
Can't get the tag. The Hearts are blocking him. Oh, missed the tag, Tito. Referee didn't see it. Oh, miscommunication. Brett just kneed Neidhart. Spivey's got his chance to get the tag. Got the tag. Tito's in there. Oh, Brett, like, okay, that bump he would do where he would go chest first into the turnbuckle always looks so nasty. I don't know how he did that, but it always looked just devastating. Flying forearm on Brett. New tag champs. New tag champs. Yes, Tito Santana is the absolute best at doing the figure 4. Yes, no one else is better than him or will be more well known for using that hold. Nobody ever. Yes, Vince. Oh, Danny Davis with the cheap shot. Bret Hart going to roll over, get the easy pin. Boom. Heels cheat.
I don't think he's going to be observing too many more matches. Danny Davis, along with Jimmy Hart and the Hart Foundation. Danny obviously observed something he didn't like and took matters into his own hands. Davis and the Hart still remaining tag team title holders. Right now, let's take you back to Mean Gene Oakland with the Dragon.
All right, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, come on, it's the Iron Sheik. He's a former tag team champion, a former heavyweight champion. And in light of your injury late last year at the hands of Macho Man Randy Savage, when you sustained a crushed larynx, I just wonder, are you 100%? Are you ready for this big of a test?
I'm ready. I'm 100%. It's something that I have to think about, me and Gene, every time I climb into the ring. Every single wrestler around the world is going for my throat. They know that's the weak point on this dragon's body. But every night I breathe fire. And every night this fire gets hotter and hotter and hotter.
All right, the Dragon is breathing fire. He's ready for the Iron Sheik. Ricky, good luck. Let's go back to the ring.
Okay. Make Dragon humble. Is he going to fuck the Dragon up his ass? God, Sheik's graphic is terrible too. Just a big boot. It would be refreshing to see a face cheat or get this, a heel win clean. I know a heel's job is to be hated, but to cheat every time. Oh, Savage just did a run in. Yeah, no, the heels should get clean wins sometimes. If there's a clear, especially in these cases where there's a clear like divide between like a guy that loses all the time and a heel that's very successful, the heel should probably win clean. Savage is doing commentary. He just booted Vince out, I think. No, he didn't.
What about it, Bobby? Do you understand?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think you had every right to come out after what the Dragon did in your match earlier.
He was in my match. Interfering, yeah. But I took a book and I showed the whole world.
Skin the cat.
Doesn't have what it takes. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Back suplex by Ricky. And we get more Savage. I'm not complaining about that, are you?
Dragon has knocked out what it takes. Take the title away from the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, such as myself, the class of the Macho Man Randy Savage. The Sheik is a great wrestler, but not in my class.
And let me ask you this: do you see any ill effect at all of the crushed lyrics suffered by a crushed Ricky the Dragon Steamboat on your hands? You see no ill effect at all now. Look at this man.
Savage or Steamboat is dominating this match. Leapfrog by Iron Sheik. Hip toss by Steamboat. Jesus Christ. I love the Macho Man. He's so great. He's like, for those of you who are Muppet fans, he's like Dr. Teeth. Like, as a real person. Like, it's incredible. Oh, Steamboat just got rammed into the wooden steps. Didn't have steel steps yet. We got wooden steps. Would Vince have had the grapefruits to fire Hogan if he had made those racist comments while he was on top? Would have been very interesting. I don't know if he would have fired him. I think at the very least he would have suspended him and kept him off TV for a while, just to kind of wait for it to blow over. Okay, Sheik's got an abdominal stretch. Yeah, easy for me to say. Abdominal, Worcestershire. Hansel. And Ricky flips out of it. Karate chop off the top. 1, 2, 3. Sheik loses. Steamboat gets the win. I love that jacket that Savage is wearing right now. It looks so insane. Is Savage honestly going to throw a chair all the way through? The referee trying to keep Steamboat from getting at Savage.
This time, the heavyweight champion of the world, Hulk Hogan. Hulk, earlier on, we spoke with Bobby Heenan and Andre the Giant. Heenan stating that Andre would remain undefeated, and that the next time we saw him, he would indeed be the heavyweight champion of the world. Your reaction?
Well, you know, you don't become champion of the world by doing things halfway, Andre. You don't stab friends in the back. You don't stab generations of little hulksters in the back. You don't throw people with a top rope from behind, man.
It's a battle royal, man. Those are the rules.
Man, has your whole life been alive? 15 years undefeated. Did you cheat every single time you got your hand raised, man?
Well, the 15 years undefeated is a lie. He didn't win all of those matches. He lost quite a few times.
15 years of undefeated obesity, man. Damn it, brother. It's all the spark I needed to face you in that one-on-one confrontation.
You know, Hulk Hogan, when the two of you locked up in that battle royal, it was like an explosion. It was like a collision at 100 miles an hour.
Well, you know, now that I know where he's coming from, now that the whole world knows what he's all about, the next time, Andre, you and I lock up, not only will you feel Hulkamania, not only will you feel a 24-inch python, the sight, the thousands of millions of Hulkamaniacs, the big brother upstairs on my side, I'm going to steal all the power I can, man, because you got to play this one straight, man. To be the world's champion, you got to beat me face to face. You got to put me on my back, brother. And when you're on top of that mountain, when you feel the real power of Hulkamania, don't slip and fall, brother, because it's a long way down.
Oh my God! Like that look on Hogan's face, it's gift worthy. It's so great. Okay, now this is the tribute video for Hot Rod, Roddy Piper. And I'm going to assume that they cut the song out. The video is supposed to have Frank Sinatra's My Way over it, but I'm assuming that they cut it out of the network. Because we can't pay for a Frank Sinatra song. It's like, come on, we can get Iron Man, but My Way, that's a bit harder.
I'm not pushing up daisies yet, Gina. I just made a transfer. You know, I'm the kind of guy, I guess I'm real proud of my sport. That's the first thing I want to say. For 16 years, probably kept me out of jail when I was a kid. And the WWF has done more for me than anything in the world. But I've made a decision. I'm in the peak. Of course, I'm in the peak of my career. But I'm going to Hollywood, and I'm going out, man. I'm going to give it 110%. Anytime I ever fought, I gave 110%. And sometimes you guys chucking eggs at me, and sometimes you weren't. Sometimes you chucking roses. Didn't matter to me. I give 110% then, and I give 110% at anything I do, and that's what we'll do. I'm just going to give it a try. I'm kind of a gutsy guy.
We're proud of you, right? Very proud of you.
Thanks. I try hard.
Speaking of proud, we put a tribute together for your fans all over the world.
Yeah, they cut out Frank Sinatra's My Way. And this music does not work. Does not work nearly as well. Okay. The My Way version is definitely on YouTube. I've seen it. I'm going to post a link in the description after the stream gets posted because you all need to see the video with My Way on it because it's so much better. Because this just looks like a memorial video. This looks like he died. I mean, unfortunately, Piper has passed away, but it's like this music is so sappy. Like My Way, My Way has more of an epic touch to it. It's a shame too because the Piper tribute video with My Way, it's probably the best thing on this episode, but you take that song out and it kind of kills it. Now they're showing him cutting the Haiti kid's hair, being a dick. Oh, there's clips of him destroying the flower shop. One of my personal favorite, like, Roddy moments. Oh, there's clips of him whipping Mr. T. That doesn't look horrible at all. Oh, and him, you know, ruining Uncle Elmer's wedding. This is an accurate portrayal. It's all the good things he did with all, like, the horrible, heinous things he did. You know, full picture. Paint the full picture. He did it his way. Oh, here's him cracking the photo over Lou Albano's head. Yeah, again, I'm going to post a link in the description to the tribute video with my way on it, because it sounds so much better. Plays better, sounds better.
What a night of World Wrestling Federation action from Motown. Indeed, that battle royal was something else. Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan did in fact get together. I'll tell you what, Andre had the advantage. He fired Hogan out of that ring, and somewhere down the road, they're going to meet again, McMahon. That was a cheap shot that Hogan got from Andre.
Vince, what? Thank you, Jesse.
Andre and Hogan touching out to the battle royal. Will be something else when we return with more of Saturday Night's main event. Stay tuned.
More Saturday Night's main event, where we say goodbye.
On May the 2nd from Notre Dame University, when we present our next Saturday Night main event. Jake the Snake is still looking for you. Hey, I'll tighten your tie. You get off my case, man.
Okay. Well, that concludes the 10th edition of Saturday Night's main event. Largely, the point of the show was to try and sell WrestleMania III and do, like, some final setups for it, like Savage and Steamboat, and especially Hogan Andre. That was the big thing they were selling. And Piper's Farewell, they wanted to get that on there. Honestly, aside from the Battle Royal, a lot of it's not very memorable. It's kind of not a terrible show, but just kind of like one that is just there. Not one of the more, like, spectacular shows. But like I said, the Battle Royal is enjoyable, and the best part of the show is the Piper tribute video, which is unfortunately ruined on the network. So again, I'm going to post a link in the description just so you guys get the full thing. So that concludes this massive stream. Thank you all for anyone still up with me. It is, how late is it? It is almost 1 o'clock. I need to go to bed. I'm going to crash. Thank you all for staying up late with me. Thank you for watching the stream with me, and stay tuned for more. I'm going to have another stream up for you next week. I'll have at least one more video up in the meantime. Another video I've kind of been kicking around for a while that I want to do sometime next week. So, yeah, you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy Backlash tomorrow, and you enjoy your week. So, until next time, good night, everybody.